Wi-Fi network called Paper Street Soap Company.
Paper Street Soap Company?
They do?
That's not me.
But whoever it is my friend. I got to meet with Mr. Knopfler like last year.
All right, folks. This is Irongeek here. I'm sitting here in West Virginia, the land of gardeners and oh, hold on a second. I need to stop that. All right, folks. This is Irongeek here. I'm sitting here in West Virginia, the land of wait, why is it still going?
There's a ghost in there.
Hold on a second. Wait, is one of you also playing the YouTube stream? This is Irongeek here. I'm sitting here in West Virginia. Wait, let me find it. Wait, why is it still going? The ghost in there. There we go. We're good now, I hope. Yeah, I'm here in West Virginia, the land of the gardeners. Same last name before they got married, but believe it or not, they're not related. Except by marriage now. And Moonshine and other sundry things.
Let's cyber a guy.
I'll go ahead and do my quick announcements that cons that are upcoming. Got finished with CypherCon this last weekend. Got the videos for it up. Got stuck in Detroit because of Delta taking a long time. Well, first of all being delayed and then taking a long time to get the plane side luggage off. So I missed that. Luckily, Kate, Badge Cat from Twitter, gave me a place to crash. So I hung out with her drinking vodka Red Bulls and watching a video that Eve Adams said I'd somehow modified to be both homophobic and misogynistic. I'm still not sure what the hell she's talking about. She hasn't answered any questions. But then this weekend, I'm here at AID, Appalachian Institute for Digital Evidence. Then April 22nd, we'll be down for B-Sides Nashville. Then B-Sides Charm on April 29th through April 30th. And Converge B-Sides Detroit May 11th through 13th. And NolaCon May 19th through the 21st. Oh, and Hackers on a Farm 26th through 29th. I'm not sure what all days I'll be there. But I don't really have any recording duties. I just got to bring some money to Mary for livestock and food and such. All right, anybody else got some announcements or anything they want to say?
I'm going to try to be at B-Sides Nash. We'll see how that goes.
That's some good grub. They have a barbecue place that's been coming in every year since they the first one. And I don't normally like the potato salad, but I like the potato salad that they serve there. Also gives me a chance to get some Nashville hot chicken.
Guess to clear out your system then?
Oh yeah, it definitely does resurface your colon if you want too hot. I need to talk to Roscoe, see if he's up for going to get some hot chicken.
Is that what you're doing, Mary? Are you trying to find a chicken?
Well, I'm just wandering around for a minute because I get cell signal outside. I have internet out there.
Oh, Bill's got an announcement. I'm here with Bill Gardner, famous for cybers.
HackerCon 8, November 17th through the 19th.
HackerCon 8, November 17th through the 19th.
Yeah.
That's a little bit ways off, but yeah, I plan on being there as well.
Get your tickets now because it's going to sell out.
How about CFP?
Okay.
Sell out.
CFPs? I know DerbyCon just recently opened up a CFP.
HackerCon opens June 1st.
I need to come up with new topics to speak at some of these cons. I don't really have anything particularly new.
I'm telling you, we should make one together. And you can go do it, Adrian, for us.
Well, we put forth the idea of having a shitlord con.
Should have a panel. Should have a shit panel.
Or we can just all be online. Hey, how's it going, people? And just project this on a screen and we can all talk with the people.
If you don't have anything to talk about, you could set up an event where you have an objective and you try and achieve it.
I remember that they put me on the schedule for the last HackerCon and I hadn't actually submitted anything. So I did an impromptu Women in InfoSec panel.
Okay.
We recorded it, but we're not posting it.
Oh.
Did you actually get a bunch of women together? And...
Yeah, actually, yes. And one of them just dropped her laptop.
Oh no. Is it okay?
fine.
It's fine.
It happens
Okay,
like
it's like my laptop. It's like one of them tough ones that husband's like, I'm getting you an indestructible one. I'm like, yeah, that's not.
Well, this look like some little MacBook, but it's a MacBook Air. I thought the MacBook Airs are even thinner than that now.
this is old.
Oh,
Just a fucking Pelican case, screen, and keyboard. That's what I want.
They make that. Hackers for Charity made that.
We made something similar for our octocopter that we had.
Which I was actually just about to bring that up. Anyone do drones? Does someone want to bring a drone up here to help me look for my stupid dog? I miss dearly. Has given us the flu panic attack.
would a drone have much of an easy time picking up a dog from the air? I don't know if he'd be likely to see it. Where would he?
All you need is some female canine piss and spread it around.
We're thinking that might be why he's kind of run off. He's probably got the scent of the woman, and he's looking for love in all the wrong places.
Yeah, it's the story of most of our lives.
Wait, so Charlie's not fixed?
No, Charlie is scheduled to be neutered, but he has not been neutered yet because when I tried to get it done, the veterinarian was getting his wrists operated on because he had, I don't know, he needed some stuff done. And so they're like, the earliest we can get you in is May. So I'm like, okay. So yeah, he's scheduled, but it has not happened yet. So. Oh, did you get it? Get it good. Get in there.
I'm trying out this Fitness Pal app. I'm tracking all my food and shit.
Did you get the paid version or the freebie version?
This is a freebie. I know the paid version suggests.
Paid version. I usually don't either, but apparently the paid version you can actually track micronutrients. Because the regular version just does like calorie counts and does not. Apparently, it's not as accurate.
This one does your macros as well. Your fats, carbs, proteins, and alcohol.
Trying to find a cartoon to share with you guys.
So, do you have a bunch of people over right now, Adrian, at your place, or what?
Oh no, I'm over at someone else's house. I'm at the gardener's house.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
I'm here to record.
haven't logged in.
I'm famous on the internet.
I'll post this in the stream. Let's see. Some little cartoons someone sent to me today that I thought was amusing.
Oh no.
So I don't think we even added anything to the show notes this time around. I didn't have any particular topic to speak on.
I was thinking about like where I work. There's we're working on a couple products. Let's put it that way, and I don't think enough attention to detail is put into the design for FPGAs and stuff. Because I was thinking there's lots of potential for like little hardware hacks. That could,
someone's added something.
That could change some shit, you know?
I'm not sure who added it, but someone added some stuff to the show notes. Does anybody actually want to cover what that stuff is?
Oh yeah, show notes.
We actually did add something to the show notes. Someone added it, but I'm not sure who it is.
Show notes. Let's see.
Someone put up something about the crash override network. Oh yeah, DerbyCon tickets go on sale tomorrow apparently. Let's see how
What?
fast those sell out.
According to my calendar.
According to Bill's calendar, but I don't know if that's true or not.
I was about to say tomorrow. Really? Damn.
Tomorrow at 2 a.m. From 2 a.m. to 10 a.m. You'll get your tickets.
Well, it looks like I won't be getting tickets.
Yeah, I don't know much about the Crash Override Network other than peripherally. It's like an anti-bullying or harassment online thing, but which participated in some harassment itself. And it's also the name of the book. Wrote, which someone optioned for a movie. What kind of movie can he make out of that? Even if you go with everything she said being true, it'd be someone for an hour and a half looking out at their phone. Oh, mean tweet, mean tweet, mean tweet, mean tweet. What kind of fucking movie is that? Online drama does not make a good movie.
Hey,
Well,
at least I tried.
I'm not sure who added that to the show notes, so whoever added it, we have to speak on it.
I don't know who ADC is.
Well, I'm not sure. All Kittens ADC, I'm not sure. I'm assuming it's a joke reference to me because of the ADC on the end.
Hey, did you guys read about the Marble framework?
No, what's up with it?
Well, basically, the Marble framework was released by WikiLeaks, and it's a whole framework to like basically hamper forensics investigators and basically obfuscate code and viruses. It's pretty interesting. Been going, just trying to see if I can reverse it or something. Make my own stuff for fun. But yeah, it's on the Vault 7 release if you guys want to read about it. It's pretty interesting. Basically, you can take any code, and even though you did it with an American keyboard, you can, through their framework, you can compile it to look like it came from a Chinese actor. So it's very interesting.
So what does it do? Does it go in and look for strings in the binary and switch them to
Apparently, yeah.
different language?
So it's just the strings. Not only that, it will like, do you know Microsoft has like these like region codes that you put in the PEs and stuff like that sometimes?
Okay, yeah.
So it changes all that as well.
Okay.
And apparently it works across the board, everything you can possibly imagine. But it's very interesting. The source code. What the hell is that?
Oh, it's just cleaning something on my laptop. It's probably me scraping. Was that?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, you can talk if you want. Oh, shut up.
You want me to scratch your hair for you?
No, you already did twice. I don't know. I was wondering if any of you guys have read about it or even tried to do anything.
I haven't read it.
Yeah.
So,
And also, like, there's one that's really interesting called the Mibster, and basically is a utility that does the scrambling and alternating of the source code files. And that one's pretty interesting too. There's also one called Mender, restores the source files to their original state. If you want to like, put it back together and see where it broke. Because on Chinese character, like if you have like a Chinese keyboard, you have like 20,000 characters type of thing. Also, there's Carbal, which is a multi-byte string. It's character that needs to be scrambled by the Mibster. So no validator is a utility that takes as an input the receipt file generated by the Mibster. The validator uses the receipt file to verify that all strings intended to be scrambled are not contained in the final binary. Yeah, I don't know. I thought you guys should like check it out. It's definitely very cool stuff. C++, if you guys can read C, it should be fairly simple.
An organization that shall remain nameless had a custom login prompt for Windows. And when the computer boots up, it basically, their script kills explorer.exe and runs their Python programmed login screen. So I reversed the Python code. It was compiled, so it was a
Hilarious.
PYC. I got the original code back out of the PYC. I changed the login, so when you log in, it'll email me plain text, username, password. So, and then I have a little keyboard thing, or sorry, I had a script on a flash drive. So I just go in there, run it. It would replace all of the Python shit, and then run it. And it would just sit there. Look, everything was exactly like normal except for the email your username and password part to me. Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Was it like a CTF, or were you like?
No, this is RL, in RL. In real life. So yeah, Python, just, people trusting that nobody's gonna do shit. That's fucking weakest link every time, man.
I don't know. I don't like Python anymore. I've converted to Go completely.
Okay, what's so great about Go? I have never actually used it. I know it's a product that Google is pushing, right? But I don't know much about it.
1 second, I'll be right back.
You can find it at golang.org. Basically, it was created by it was Rob Pike. I know it was Rob Pike, the guy who did UTF-8, the other guy who did the Java stuff, the bytecode stuff, and then one of the guys who was like one of the main Unix guys created Go. And the joke goes that they created Go while C++ was compiling. And the good thing about Go that I like, it's basically statically based, so a lot like C. You end out with a compiled binary at the end. You don't have to worry about anything else. You can cross-compile across anything you want, even Plan 9. Yeah, and it's like there's the type safety stuff is pretty awesome. Yeah, it basically works anywhere. It's like, just imagine C for like the 21st century. It has concurrency and parallelism right out of the box, so you don't have to be worrying about like, I don't know if you ever work with like Chronos and use like OpenCV or OpenMP and stuff like that, and so it really helps a lot. One other thing that's really interesting about it is that if you use like CoreOS or Docker, they're all based on Go. And it's just amazing. You should definitely give it a, check it out. And you can like basically, imagine you can write like, your application will be a compiled binary and you can just dump it anywhere and not worry about it and just go from there and not be worrying about like resources or dependencies or anything like that. And it's been out there since like 2007, I believe. So let me see, I'm here at the Wikipedia. What are the three guys' names? I forgot, I should know this. Yeah, it was created by Robert Geismer, Rob Pike, and Ken Thompson. It is a compiled statically typed language in the tradition of Algol and C, with garbage collection, limited structural typing, memory safety features, and CSP-style concurred programming features added.
Doesn't have any decent libraries though for making shit easy. I'm a big fan of mostly Python, but to a lesser extent Perl, because those libraries are doing about everything.
Oh no, if you go to godoc.org, it's there's a lot of stuff. And the good thing is that you can call C code into Go directly. It's called C Go, not considered Go, but you can still do it. C++ into Go. You can do everything. I mean, I use it for everything. I mean, it's great. I mean, at least as a middleware type of thing, but yeah. There's at least my style of programming is I do like FPP flow-based programming, so everything is modular, and for my style of programming, it works great. And when I'm building like microservices and things like that within CoreOS, it's just amazing how you can like break everything down, not worry about it to a certain extent, and then just keep on going. And it's very rapid prototyping as well.
See, I've always been a lazy bastard. I keep using Python just because it has all the libraries I need. It's a fairly easy language, and there's a lot of people out there that support it.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, I used to use Python a lot, but I had a friend who was working on a project and he was using Go, and I mean, I found it very. I mean, everybody has their own style, of course, and your own libraries and your own workflow, but Go is pretty well documented. And it's very interesting how like they have created this system where you don't just write a library and then just have you like you have to like write comments in a certain way and you explain everything to actually be like in godoc.org. And like say if you're doing any project, you go to godoc.org, you search whatever you're doing, and boom, you have all your libraries there, and then you can look at it. And there's a bunch of people have been porting Python libraries into Go. Like there's a NumPy version of it. There's one like for machine learning called GoLearn. TensorFlow has bindings. Here. But why would you just give it a shot and see if you like it? If not, just.
Well, at some point in time, I might give it a shot.
It's not for everybody. It's like.
What does it resemble? Like, what's the closest style?
C?
Okay.
Without the semicolons and without
so you gotta manage memory and all that. You gotta do like MLIC or anything like that.
You don't have to free memory unless you're using CGO. So when you're using a CGO, you have to like, it's like a regular C program that you're like kind of like calling things from, and you do have to like release and do all that kind of stuff.
Can you do like vectors and shit?
Yeah. Just imagine C for the 21st century, basically.
Okay, give me a second. Okay, yeah, I can imagine.
And infinitely better than Perl, no matter how you look at it, since Perl's broken.
Perl.
No, it's not. The camel still lives.
Freaking man, I don't think I'll never get the regex fucking formatting. I always gotta look it up.
I'm waiting for whoever show notes put this shit out there. This is, oh man. Zoe Quinn is one of the most critically acclaimed, widely recognized indie developers in gaming industry. He wrote something called Depression Quest, which was a choose your own adventure game, as far as I know. What kind of asinine shit is?
Oh, please do not bring that woman up.
Oh, okay.
Please don't.
I don't.
I'll get triggered.
Please do. Let's see how Jack reacts.
I'll get triggered and I'll go off on a tirade. So
no, that's not. Hey, Jack, it's a false alarm. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's some ego. That's a millennial ego right there. Shit.
We're all afraid of Jack. Please don't make him mad. Who has ICQ? Holy shit.
Don't make Jack angry. You wouldn't like Jack when he's angry.
Angry. He's angry. Oh my god.
Jack's angry?
Angry. He's looking for you. You're 3 Google searches away from being found, friend. Hide. Apparently Mary's cooking or something. Look at her.
Now we know what happened to the dog.
Oh.
What
And
happened? That.
what's that? The dead ducks didn't survive?
Woof, woof,
No, it's lamb.
What?
I had like lamb. I had leftovers. I had like this really good lamb stew soup.
So Mary had a little lamb.
Had.
Has.
Looks like she's gonna have it for dinner.
And I kept the box.
Was that her connection or my internet that sucked?
Yes, it was one of those.
I think it's your internet.
Just
Yeah.
yes. Yes.
Just hit the power button for 30 seconds. It might fix it.
Yes.
Vans are still on. You haven't done it yet.
Yeah, don't you hate it when you ask an A or B question and somebody answers yes? Akash did that to me earlier in the day or in the week.
Yes.
Control Control W to fix the wireless, right?
Yes.
No.
No. Control Alt Delete fixes all that.
W for wireless makes sense, but
No, it's Control Alt Delete. Trust me.
so you want me to like bring up Task Manager?
That's right. You're in Windows. Sorry.
Alt F4 then.
I remember back in the day, like to restart, I used to go like Windows key U R. I don't think you can do that anymore.
I remember back in the day when Slackware would hang on me, it'd be a Control Alt backspace and drop out of X.
Yeah. Control Alt F1. Get my life back.
All right, I'm looking for some news here. Does anybody know exactly why Bannon was taken out of the National Security Council?
Who was? Or what was?
Oh,
Heard.
Steve Bannon.
Yeah.
Well, Bannon's side of the story is that it was due to an error when the administration was coming in, that they just copy and pasted the old policies, and that Bannon was there to make sure that everything was scaled back to the way it used to be.
So
Okay.
So why was he dropped from the council?
Well, he had no business being there to begin with. The Obama administration put Susan Rice, as the point person on the NSC. And so when he came in, it was just a simple copy and paste. So it reduced the role of the National Security Advisor, and it made him the point person on that rather than Flynn.
So it says here, reverse there. He was removed, reversing a controversial early decision to give Bannon access to high-level meetings. So why didn't they want him in the high-level meeting?
Because he's not a political appointee. Apparently, he's just. I don't even know what the fuck his job is. Shit.
Strategist, I believe the terminology was not. Yeah.
It's like they don't trust him or something. Like, what the fuck did he do? I don't even know. Like, I'm just trying to read this for the first time.
I mean, I know he's one of the presidential advisors, but it's.
He hit on Ivanka Trump. He got fired.
Okay, so they say it's inappropriate for political. Nobody gets fired for that, man. Trump does the same thing.
Keep it in the family.
There's an interview where he's like,
He got jealous.
he was
Yeah.
like, if that wasn't my daughter, I'd be all over her or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm amazed they let him talk.
And tweet.
Yeah, and tweet.
He saved Twitter, you know that, right?
Single-handedly.
He saved Twitter. Yeah, that's a good point. I bet a lot of people did join Twitter just for this.
Let's make it entertaining. And but I will say this: the fact that he tweets a lot of shit, which is not necessarily the most presidential, but at the same time, all these news reporters, and someone else pointed out, you used to have to do investigative journalism, and now you have a bunch of news reporters that do nothing but report on Donald Trump's tweets.
Yeah, pretty much writer program to get all your information now.
It's been a long time since there's been any real investigative reporting anyway.
No, there's been. They're just all dead.
Fake news.
Well, yeah, they didn't get to report it though. So, well, I guess the investigating part was done, but the reporting part wasn't.
Yeah, they did look around, but ended up with a couple bullet holes apparently. Some black site or something.
My brother's a shithouse journalist.
A buddy of mine went to Subway. He left a receipt on my desk at work, and he had it highlighted on the receipt because there was a report on CBC that Subway only had 50% real chicken. The rest was like soy filler or something like that. He left a receipt, and on the receipt it said, saying our chicken is 50% real is 100% false or something like that. So he highlighted it and he put fake news, fake news. He left the receipt.
100% of my chicken.
What?
Unless 100% of my chicken is real. Unless it's duck.
Mary, we can't hear you well.
I hate my phone!
Holy shit.
Don't piss her off, god damn it.
Duly
No,
noted.
it's okay. I just have to get in the window. The window open so I can get a cell phone signal. I said 100% of my chicken is real, except unless it's duck. But yeah, anyway.
We don't believe you. 50% soy. We had the receipt.
Yeah, in Mary's little valley, radio waves propagate kind of weirdly. There's certain places in her yard you can stand to get really good signal. There are places that are complete dead zones.
Yeah, I have to be behind the garage in order to hit the antenna.
50% canine filler.
No, honey, I want to go now. It's like,
What's up, Bill?
What's up?
What's it?
Hey, I didn't know y'all were podcasting tonight.
You kill any students lately?
Not lately. Not lately. I did give them an impossible assignment, and they're all freaking out because they can't complete it.
Apparently somebody hacked your phone, Bill, because to complete that.
Yeah,
one,
I hear that
can't
too.
hear you.
I'm leaving. Bye.
Cash kills another one.
And hackology took a spot.
okay, someone can have my spot. I'll watch you guys later. I got too much stuff. I need more.
No, we need the farm animal part of this podcast.
I don't want our house to flow near farm animals.
What? What about?
Hey, one finger at me, three back at you, buddy. Are you having problems?
Well, at some point, ask me questions about things that are not farm related. But okay, we can do farm shit if you guys want to do farm shit.
We could hack your tractor.
I actually don't have a tractor, but what I do need help. If you guys want to hack something, I need help putting up barn.
We got the Ukrainian firmwares from the interwebs.
Matt actually was looking into that. I thought it was kind of neat.
I guess John Deere is kind of pissed off about that. Eh?
Oh yeah, they are very much so.
Whatever. John Deere has a fucking monopoly. It was about time.
Yeah, because I think they were trying to stop people from using like third-party accessories and shit, right? Because they all, when you plug,
Come here.
when you put an accessory in, it's the tractor's smart enough to know it's there, I guess.
The child wants to know what this is. What's this? What is this? She goes, what is this? What's going on? This is the weekly meeting of minds. Huh?
This is adulthood.
It's
Yeah.
still hang out. We talk about all kinds of things like hacking tractors and breaking into stuff and not breaking into stuff and how to protect things. And sometimes Eve and sometimes women in tech and sometimes farm animals and occasionally sheep's asses because she might be having her friggin' lambs tonight.
And we talk about vegetables and how good they are. We should eat them every meal.
Yeah, and killing stuff and we're not weird. This happens. It's good stuff.
All right, go ahead. If you need to drop off, I think Live Beef's about to join.
What?
Goodbye. Sorry.
Mary?
Yeah. I'm making her tea because she's got the flu. She's sick. Right. I'll head out, guys. I'll catch you guys a little bit later.
All right.
See you, Mary.
See you there.
Yep. See ya.
Yeah, I'll try to do my own podcast at some point.
Cigarette.
Some good shit there, is it?
Yeah.
Maybe. Homemade too.
Fast and left, man.
No.
It'll be quicker coming around this way.
Puff, puff, pass.
Yeah. Yeah, but he puff puff swallows. You don't see it again.
What you do later is up to you.
Yeah, we're talking about weed, aren't we? Yeah.
I don't know, but you got nervous there.
Swallow.
Of course we're talking about weed. What are you thinking about, Perry?
Smoking pole or something.
Oh my god. Yeah. Advance, it's okay. You can come out. We'll still love you.
You're the one joking, man.
On smoke.
Live Beef, just so you know, your webcam is on.
You are live. Live.
Or was.
That's not a very good last name.
Live beef.
Dead beef.
How's it going, man? You have your microphone on?
Cash muted him.
Stop that.
He's rejecting humanity.
I didn't mute anyone.
Yet.
Yeah.
I only help out the situation.
It's only been 38 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he muted himself, apparently.
There's a lot of time.
The integrated webcam mic.
All right, who is he? Does anybody know who he is?
Yeah, I know who he is. He's a friend of mine on Twitter. Been at ShmooCon once.
Shmoo.
Uh-oh. He went live there for a second.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I can help.
Might need some.
What?
Oh, do we have a live beef?
Yep, that's me.
Earphones.
bro.
Yeah, we can all hear us. Yeah, it's hard to talk when you can hear yourself.
Is it any better now?
Much.
Yep.
Much.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, who added the stuff in the show notes? Live beef, were you the one that added the stuff about the crash override network into the show notes?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and take a look at that. You just linked me to that when I clicked on the Google Hangouts link.
Oh, but you weren't the person who actually added that to the show notes?
No, I was not.
Then who did?
It wasn't me because I don't even have write access to it. So
send me,
So,
make a simple request
That's for a reason.
and I'll add you. Yeah, somebody was talking about Kitten's ADC. Well, Kitten's ADC is not me, but I'm assuming it was a joke reference to maybe like a Reddit that I somehow control.
Iron Cat.
Well, Kitten's ADC.
Oh my god.
Copper Jock.
All I know is this sound. I don't understand why anybody would want to read this book.
What book?
This Crash Override book.
please, well,
Why
fine.
would they?
Well,
why would they?
you know why they want to read it? It's because she still sees herself as a victim. The other victims have managed to profit off of it, but not her. I guess it's her turn to profit off of it.
Okay. But this.
Wait. But isn't Crash Override the nickname from the Hackers movie?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And her bio on the book is just so sickening. It's like Zoe Quinn is one of the most critically acclaimed, widely recognized indie developers in the gaming industry and leading voice in the fight against online abuse. Try to abuse others online. And also,
she has so much experience in abuse.
What game
Maybe
did
she
you
is a good
decide one like a choose your own adventure? Am I wrong on that? Did you do more than a choose your own adventure game?
Well, there wasn't much to that choose your own adventure. It was a text-based game, and it sucked.
So how is she like a preeminent indie developer?
Because she has congressional contacts.
Okay. Why does she have congressional contact?
I don't know. Catherine Clark seems to love her. Catherine Clark got her a brief stint over at Speak in front of it was televised. It was made it seem a lot bigger than it was. She spoke in front of a bunch of congressional aides while on C-SPAN. Yeah, I actually talked with one of the Intel House, one of the Senate Intel committee members who just like a few weeks after that whole thing happened, and he just rolled his eyes at me when I had mentioned that whole stupid event. I forget. Was Zoe also one of the ones who went over to the United Nations?
I believe I saw footage of that.
Yeah, so she's gotten a number of influential contacts. That said, I don't know. I think she's gotten way over her head. I think she's not exactly have wholesome intentions. But that's mainly I see that when she her initial advertising attempt for Depression Quest, the game that got her claim to fame, was apparently scapegoating a image board full of suicidally depressed virgins, claiming they were harassing her. When apparently the admin of Wizard Chan, the website in question, had ID'd the harasser as someone coming from, if not Zoe's house, someone in her very close vicinity.
What is also digital minimum copyright strike she tried to use on some YouTubers to get shut down?
I know Mundane Matt was the one who had a video that got a copyright strike that caused so much shit to go down. I don't know if it was the video on Zoe, though. You would have to ask him.
Then she got some kind of gag order against her ex-boyfriend, as I recall.
Yes, that is correct.
Yep.
But she gets a lot of white knights and a lot of, or at least some victim bucks. I'm not sure what her Patreon is at right now.
I do not know. I do know that Crash Override, for a brief period of time, was one of Twitter's recommended anti-abuse organizations. That didn't go over well, especially considering one member of Crash Override had used the service to prey on women who were reporting harassment. He was an abuser seeking to probably rape a few of them.
What? Holy shit! This sounds like Like she just
Oh.
cracked some wet neighbor's password and used that to make all this thing happen.
Oh god, there is so much. Everything around this is so wrong.
Pretty much.
Hey, it's all about the optics.
It's yes, and the people who inflate her optics are very selective in what they show us to the world.
Sounds like standard politics.
Yes, except about gender politics for whatever god awful reason.
Yes, this was like one of my first introductions into the whole SJW movement.
Yeah, first one, that was when I realized how bad it had gotten. The first one I'd even heard of was the whole Dick Wolves thing back in like 2010, 2011, where some same journalists, same group of asshole journalists that keep pushing this crap present day had essentially hounded the webcomic artists behind Penny Arcade, which used to be very influential in the whole video game sphere. They kept hounding them for over half a year about a single webcomic about a rape joke. And they had refused to apologize or take it down or anything until their children received death threats. Which,
That's just fucked up.
Yeah. This is not uncommon. There is so much fucked up crap with the way, if not the ones that lead this whole crap operate, how some of their followers operate. And I don't for a moment think this is all coordinated. I just think they have some assholes or sociopaths that follow them. They're probably counting on them to take action.
It's strange how social justice warriors play it up as being they're constantly being harassed and so forth, but they participate in the shit too.
Unfortunately, I've seen a number of people who the social demographics that the social justice warriors have targeted. A few members of them explicitly copying the worst of their tactics and try to fight fire with fire, so to speak. So yes, at this point in time, some of them can legitimately claim to be have been harassed because their tactics were copied.
All right, let's look at some Dick Wolves.
Okay.
All right, here's
There's
some Dick Wolves for you.
very thorough timeline of that in Tumblr for some reason.
Huh. Hero, please take me with you. Release me from this hell unending. Every morning we are roused by savage blows. Every night we are raped to sleep by the Dick Wolves. I only need to say 5 slaves, right? Press complete. But hey, pal, don't make this weird. And apparently you can get a T-shirt. That's kind of cool. And it seems like a pretty throwaway joke. So
it's pretty good.
Yeah, the drawings are legit too.
It's possible you read our cartoon and because a rapist as a direct or became a rapist as a direct result. If you're raping someone right now, stop. Apologize and leave. Go and rape no more.
yeah, that's about the response they probably should have gave it for people giving shit about that particular silly joke.
Yeah, that response got a lot more shit, like doubled the shit that was piled on them.
What did they say? Never apologize on SJW. It only makes it worse.
Like I said, they only apologize after their children were threatened.
Oh, they. Yeah, that's why you need to be anonymous when you shit post.
Now you were telling me there was something about this one code of conduct or something. What is it? Community contribution. What was it called? Somewhere in which people wanted to police others' behavior. What's community covenant or I can't remember. We referred to it as CC.
Contributors Covenant.
What exactly is that?
Oh god, it's something. Oh, sorry. Can anyone else explain? I don't want to be the only one.
Go ahead.
What is it?
No,
What's
go right ahead.
Yeah, go right out on that one. All you.
Me? All right. So my understanding is that it is something that got popularized out of some freaking code of conduct that got popularized out of Tumblr and has been aggressively pushed by a number of activists into a number of open source programming projects and open and closed source really. Programming projects to be included when you download the source code or on the project's main website. I believe in at least one case, I've heard of a big developer who, when he refused some activists' attempts to convince him to voluntarily use the code of conduct, they got nastier and nastier. Got one. He had been threatened with being reported to the Python Foundation. I don't really understand what that threat's supposed to mean. What that functionally means, and it ended with a death threat to him when he kept refusing. This was on GitHub, being sent to him by several pseudo-anonymous accounts. I don't know how many other developers have encountered something like that. I just know the one example.
But what all is this thing supposed to enforce? Like, what all is it supposed to make you do?
To try to say you stand for diversity and inclusivity, that you will not harass others, and that you want a more diverse community for marginalized people for your open source project.
Every person I've ever seen whine about exclusionary behavior, and we all know who I'm talking about. Every person I've ever seen whine about exclusionary behavior is not talking about actual exclusionary behavior. They're talking about people being pussies and excluding themselves because they're fifis of it. And then the same people try to exclude someone else who's doing the fifi hurting.
Well, there is that
That's
too.
my take on it.
And I don't understand why any of them think it's an appropriate response to, when their fifis are hurt, to then try to ruin a person's career or destroy decades worth of their work. I don't understand how someone can be brought up to think that's a reasonable response to destroy someone's livelihood.
Well, two things. One, they took it very personal, got very organized, or it was funded by a competitor. Like, corporate, whatever they call it.
Espionage.
Corporate warfare. No, it's not espionage. It's like warfare, like corporate warfare. So you get basically you have a competing business that's getting into your business, so you do things to basically hinder their business, and only that, you talk shit about the business, you go to Yelp and put bad reviews in there, stuff like that, and you basically try to shut them down or slow them down.
So I
Racketeering,
understand.
I think it is called.
Or disinformation campaigns.
Yep, correct. Yeah, which is all very bad if you get caught.
So I understand that being the case for commercial entities or startups, but I'm just seeing this a lot with just random open source projects that some people are just doing out of passion. Also, some open source foundations, which I guess I can see the competitor angle if there's someone vying for a leadership spot. I'm sure a lot of you heard about the whole not Django. Drupal drama that's been happening.
He got for his kinky lifestyles, and he had some kind of dominant sub relationship with women.
Yep. Apparently, he'd been writing a lot online about a slideshow about his views on women, but as far as I can tell, that was pretty much him about describing his kinks. I mean, he worked in Drupal for at least a decade, and I can't find a single person who has worked with him who has said he has treated anyone poorly.
Well, I mean, It also has bias to who you are on your own and when you're with your peers too, right?
Yeah, some of the proposed changes to the Drupal code of conduct is to make sure if your behavior within and without Drupal, no matter what, no matter how long ago it was, it transgresses upon Drupal's new community and contributor standards, that you are not permitted to contribute.
Well, that looks like I won't be ever contributing to Drupal because, well, I'm a fucking troll.
And I hate PHP, so I'm good there too.
Well, I just know that's in the discussion of like Drupal's one of their GitHub pages to discuss changes to their code of conduct. I don't know if that part isn't finalized, but I do know there is a push for going down that route.
Wow. So much trouble.
You want to look up some butthurt. There's something called the Dreamland Code of Conduct. It pissed off a whole lot of people who normally are trying to put forward codes of conduct.
Oh, yeah. So that was following the whole Lambda Conf thing, to my understanding, right?
Correct. I'm saying that the Dreamland, or was it Fantasyland? Fantasyland may be the correct name for it. A code of conduct was a bit created by the people at Lambda.
So, yeah, the Lambda Conf, the Fantasyland Code of Conduct seems fairly reasonable to me. I mean, I prefer not infantilizing people, but if you if your arm is twisted to put a code of conduct in, theirs seems less insane than almost everyone else's.
I don't know. It's just kind of weird how they will like fire you because of things that were said on the internet, and it's probably not even you.
So, this whole thing is just one gigantic fucking tempest in a teapot, whatever you want to call it. And the only reason I really think that is, I think it was a year or so ago over at I really am terrible at remembering names. It's a yearly conference, relatively famous, I think in Texas. Anyways, there was a harassment-themed version of the conference about online harassment and the horrors of how it affects women, minorities, and that conference was not originally planned. It was segued out after apparently there was originally going to be a Gamergate-themed panel there. So this harassment-themed day of talking online harassment, it was a handful of NGOs, a handful of lawmakers, and a few activists. Rooms were pretty much empty for the most part. You have a small base of very passionate, very active people, but not many people agree with them or care. If I remember the name of the conference, I will mention it.
What is a good way to keep people who are likely to produce drama out of your community? Literally be exclusionary, because sometimes it's just the best for the same people that are in a community.
Define your community. I mean, 'cause you're talking about regulating who can be a part of your community. I mean, in what scope do you mean your community?
Good question. The categories of, I guess, people who want to accomplish something in that particular hobby, but don't want to bring identity politics and other shit into it.
I mean, you just self-police your own organization then. I mean, if it's like a little club or a clique, I mean, if somebody joins here every week and they're stirring up a bunch of crap to make this gathering look bad, you just boot them out. I mean, it's self-policing.
Use the power of the EULA.
I agree. Next.
Just get Cash to mute him.
Next.
There you go.
So, out of curiosity, what happened to the folks at LambdaConf when they put in the Fantasyland Code of Conduct? What happened besides the initial advertiser pullout and speakers being harassed and coerced into going away? They made a vague reference to other tactics the activists, social media activists use, but they didn't elaborate on them.
I'm afraid I don't have a lot of details either.
Damn. All right.
Okay, well, we go back to tech stuff for a bit. Anybody have a cool project you want to tell us about? Cool project?
I think that space thing I posted there was kind of. They're gonna blow up the probe by Saturn.
Why? What happened?
Something like they don't want to disturb any life that might possibly be nearby, so they're gonna wipe it out. It's like 3-point-something billion.
Could you imagine if an alien race was like, yeah, you gotta take away your robot or we're gonna kill Earth? If that was the real backstory.
Anyway, I'll be right back. You can talk about it if you want.
Does anybody know enough about it to talk about it?
No, I don't.
I didn't even hear about that.
James knows a lot about it.
Wait, are we talking about like actual aliens or like illegal aliens? Complain about it.
Only illegal if they're on Saturn without following proper immigration procedure.
I was going to say, who vetted this so-called complaint here? Was it the NAACP? I mean, what are we talking about here?
Intergalactic ice. Yeah, the Men in Black probably did it. Just kidding. I don't know.
Right, I think I've just about got mic working.
Can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Good evening, everyone. You can't hear me.
Hello, are you talking?
I can hear you, Sino. What you got?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Just stop the trolling, man.
It's so hard.
You wouldn't realize.
Yeah, it's hard. I can't help it. I mean, every day I wake up and say I'm not going to go in on somebody, and then first post I read, I wind up going in on somebody.
Give up reading.
I can't help it.
It just comes out natural. I'm sorry.
Did any of you guys look at that link about the hacker that got arrested for developing a rat?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Pretty fucked up as well.
So can they now start arresting Dave Kennedy for developing set or HD Moore for doing Metasploit?
Yeah, exactly. It just seems a little bit retarded. I think they're trying to just make an example of him, just trying to scare other developers off making tools like he's been.
Right. Plus, HD Moore pays taxes, so he's immune to that.
Yeah, but also you have to see how you did he put this on a darknet and then he's getting,
No, he was.
No, he sold it.
Yeah, it's a software developer. He's charging $25 for it for use in schools and as a cheap alternative to remote administration.
I see. Huh.
But I think if people
isn't there a law against whatever hacker tools and stuff like that? I forgot what it's called.
But it wasn't developed or marketed as ever as a hacker tool. It's just that it's been used as a hacker tool.
What is it again? Sorry.
It's a Trojan, a rat. I don't even know what it's written in. It is called Nanocore.
Okay. And people are using this as an administration tool?
Well, they're using it as a backdoor to people's systems and to steal passwords and stuff. But it's what it's marketed as is remote administration for people that want a cheaper option than some of the industry standards.
Okay, but it is actually hidden away like a Trojan. It's not like a TeamViewer or something where it's obvious that you're running this thing. It's actually running in the background.
It's a good question. Don't know. But he apparently took affirmative steps to against people who were using it as just a generic rat when hacking people. But at the same time, he only advertised it on hack forums, so I don't know. It's going to be a hard case for the FBI to really prove anything, to my understanding. I mean, to really pin him down if everything that's been publicized is really the full extent of his involvement. I don't know. Maybe there's something news that'll come out in the coming months.
I guess this is how they recruit you now. They can make you a deal. We won't give you 20 years in prison, but you have to work for us and red all the rats that we need.
And stop smoking weed.
Closer to this than you think. Closer to this than you think, man.
Yeah, that was interesting. Somebody's fucking topic or something like that was how they had to quit smoking weed or something because they wanted a job there or something.
Yep.
Yeah, and they said how they're losing out on a lot of good hackers and shit that could work for them because they all smoke weed.
Change your policy.
Well, they can't change the policy. It is what it is. I mean,
why not? What does that make you? What you do in your own time? What does that make you any different of a person?
Well, I mean, you can still do it if you do it like under like a shell corporation and you have a representative go over there and do whatever and sell them stuff.
It's the results that matter.
You don't have to be tied
I think
up
it's
to them.
because it's still technically illegal.
No, it's a federal
on the federal
crime.
level.
It's
Federal
a state,
crime,
yeah. And then it's category 1. It's right there with heroin. They're as bad though, I believe. Somebody told me.
You listen too, eh?
Hell no. I have to experiment on my own self.
Well, here in Canada, we're gonna legalize it next Canada Day. So
didn't they try that once? And then once the government changed, they outlawed it again.
No, not really. He tried to push it through, but just didn't get it.
That was not Trailer Park Boys. That didn't count.
Yeah. From what I'm hearing, the painkiller industry keeps trying to lobby to keep it criminal.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
In my personal opinion, I think weed is probably one of the best medicines on the face of the planet.
Well, your body has cannabinoid, whatever, absorbing parts, whatever it is.
Cannabinoids. Oh man.
English class.
No, this is real shit. Apparently.
No,
It's
I know.
Word you're looking for, Acacia. Cannabinoid.
Tomato.
Yeah. No, not tomato. This is real shit, man. Serious.
That's how you grow tomatoes the same way, right?
Well, not really. You gotta change the pH on the water, but other subject.
You're pretty much
noted.
You're pretty much right. Yeah.
No.
Change the wavelength to suit the season, the emulated season.
So, just for instance, my company, when the like California and Colorado and those states started legalizing marijuana statewide, a lot of their high-end engineers wanted to partake because it's legal now. So they actually have modifications in their state-to-state corporate like HR laws stating that members of this state can actually partake in marijuana. They won't get fired for it. There's a lot. You just can't do it while you're at work, obviously.
Right.
That takes away all the fun.
Right.
What about during a non-paid lunch?
It's the results that matter,
Well-
damn it. And if I'm a better hacker while I'm high, then fuck.
Well, I mean, case in point, one of my coder friends, he actually works for the state of Colorado, and when they legalized it, the rule was that as long as you don't come in smelling like it, you're good.
It's fair.
All right.
And can you vape in the office and shit?
No, you can't spark at the office, but I'm just saying you can't.
No, vape. It's vapors, not smoke.
There's one guy that vapes at our office. He uses the solder remover, the fucking fume extractor.
Are you serious?
That's fucking sweet, man.
Yeah,
That
that's pretty
is
good.
genius.
Yeah, he's got one right by his desk, so he sits there and he's right in there.
Invite him to the podcast, please.
Well, I mean, I spoke in my office now, but
You live work at home.
I use a Dyson smoke killer.
Oh man, I don't like smoking it that much. I'd rather ingest it with chocolate,
Edibles.
something like that. Edibles are
Gummies.
fucking the shit right now.
Edibles are the fucking rage right now, man.
I wouldn't know because I can't do that even if I did move to a state where it's legalized.
Aw.
Shattered.
Oh god.
It's too strong though, and it lasts far too long if you eat. Yeah. Actually,
Talking about shatter.
oh no,
Or
but
You
eating.
can't eat shatter, you'll die.
just
Oh, fuck yeah!
Yeah, shatter.
that was a little bit too intense, man. It's just like standard.
Yeah, I did shatter. Well, I was around when a person did shatter once, and it was not.
Oh yeah.
A guy I know.
I brought it to my mouth, but I didn't pump.
All right, Monica.
Who said that? Was that Clinton or something?
Yeah.
That was Monica Lewin.
Oh, was it?
You see?
Yeah, right under
Yeah.
the desk, right?
All right, Puff Swallows, we got it.
Oh man.
I said it's edible. Use some teeth.
Apparently, we know that, but we don't need to know.
Use some
That takes
teeth,
half the
guys.
fun away.
Oh God, Mike, don't help him.
Oh, it's not too hard. Just use your head.
Yeah. So, have you guys seen that Cyber Talents website by any chance?
Cyber talents?
It's called cybertalents.com, and it's
Is there any talent on there?
I don't know. It's like a competition where you do it individually, like CTFs, and
I
it's
thought
like
it was a website for really good porn stars.
no. That's the other podcast we joined, not this one. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. There's no Americans there. You guys should like join it. I did.
You get like ranked based upon like where you get in the CTF or whatever.
Yeah, they have like these like different problems. They're pretty simple.
And they're worth points?
But it's so.
Is that
Yeah.
the CTF time or whatever?
No. This is like they have they sort of like guys from like Dubai and shit. Trump.
So
Sounds
which
like
government?
the,
So the Dubai government sponsoring this?
Yeah.
I'm out.
I know. I've been using Burp Suite to see what the fuck they're doing, depending on IP addresses. See if they're actually like trying to hack your shit.
I could guarantee
crazy.
that.
What are you doing it?
No, but I bet you any money.
No. Oh god. I don't know. I think it's pretty interesting. Some of the questions are wrong. Like they have like the first virus ever it was called Brain. I'm like, are you serious? It's not Brain, you piece of shit. I don't know.
Maybe it's the first virus for that.
No, it's the first virus which Pakistani hackers created.
Yeah.
But not the first virus created by like the world. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's called I forgot what it was called, but it's not the first virus.
There's a few things in their educational system where they don't tell the truth about who created it. They say it was from their country instead.
Yeah, I know.
There's been a few people that are from there that have told me that. They're like, sometimes the school and shit will just lie to you and say like we're the creators of it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
What was that American spy name that claimed he invented the internet? I thought that was hilarious.
Oh, Al Gore.
Yeah.
Al Gore.
Have you guys heard about, like I mentioned it a couple of weeks ago about DRM coming in through the 3C, is it? And they've released it or are thinking about releasing it. And the problems around DRM forever. So basically, you know how copyright after so many years, copyright expires. This new form of DRM is, and they was talking about applying it to web pages. So sharing data on the web pages, if you modified your browser to be able to share it, would break the rules of this DRM and you would be held liable for it.
Having a hard time understanding you, Matt.
Oh, the new web standards are including some kind of DRM.
Oh yeah, the encrypted media extensions that Tim Berners-Lee is pushing to. I think it's one of the web standards bodies, W3C.
Yep, that's the one. I can't understand why he's doing that though. I mean, it's,
Wait, wasn't that the same guy trying to put IDs on Americans, just like Estonia, like your web ID, whatever?
I don't know. I doesn't sound like him.
Oh, you're talking about the online identification, like your online ID card or whatever. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. You need like a government ID to access the internet.
Like online citizenship or something?
Yeah, like there's a code or something. I forgot what it was. I think is it
Tim
Estonia?
Berners-Lee has been pretty pro-private, has a history of being
Yeah.
pro-privacy. It's just
No,
unfortunately
I
he's
don't
also
know.
pro-DRM.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
because
Yeah, there was one country that was doing that for their online services or something like that.
Yeah.
I think there's about like maybe a week left, I think a little bit less, to actually try to convince Tim Berners-Lee to not enshrine DRM into web standards. Free Software Foundation is really trying to push as hard as they can, but they really don't have resources. I think they operate less than $1 million a year.
I mean, the other thing is the internet, the way that people have been told to use it is changing. When I was at school, we were always told never use your real name, you never give away your details, you never tell anybody where you're from or what company you work for. And then now we've got Facebook, of course, real name.
You mean Fedbook?
Yeah, Fedbook. And we've got like, I don't know, it's changing. With this deal with fake news at the moment. Like, you know, boys, don't believe fake news. Well, welcome to the internet. This is a publishing platform where anybody can publish.
Yeah, I don't know how the term fake news even came to be. It's like, haven't you ever been on the internet?
Political.
Ever?
A lot of them have not, really.
I saw someone quoting the Onion the other day. I was like, oh no.
Quoting
Most
what?
of the people pushing this are people who only think of the internet in terms of the word cyber.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Plus, you have to understand that we live in a fear-based society. And if I was selling something and I told you, you got nothing to hide but everything to lose, I can take all your shit and make you bankrupt. You have no money. I mean,
the media is always looking for some
boogeyman,
some term they can kind of coin or something like that to freak people out.
I also think it's the way of them justifying their propaganda as well. You know, they're going on about fake news. Well, how about all the propaganda that they push through the news channels? Could be seeing
So
a fight.
it's awful.
Yeah.
From what I've been told from some people in DC, chances are there's going to be a lot in any kind of future election. Social media is going to be shut up so freaking badly. Right now, apparently, the dominant narrative is that Russians were able to change the election by use of bots, spamming news articles and masquerading as down-to-earth farmers. And you find literally, I think it was General Alexander, like former head of the NSA, testifying in front of Congress, saying that he thinks that the bots had polarized the demographic now known as the Bernie Bros, and also the far right. I don't know. The whole thing to me, it makes, if they really think bots convinced anyone rather than just annoyed them, I don't know. It shows a deep contempt for the average intelligence of someone on the internet. I don't know.
You don't even have to go that far, because seriously, if Russia wanted to sway the election one way or the other, wouldn't they have wanted their comrade Hillary? I mean, come on. Why would they want Trump?
Hillary was like leading the attempts to completely cut off, completely screw over Russia's economy. Apparently, Hillary was pushing to clamp down even harder if she became president. That's my understanding of the whole thing.
Because Trump had Twitter.
I don't think Russia really plans on Trump winning.
I mean, I don't know. I would think they would want a weaker U.S. And, it seems like, given the choice of Hillary or Trump, Hillary would definitely be a weaker U.S. to deal with down the road. So, I don't know.
I don't know. You could say many things about Hillary, but she was pretty active on the war end. If you're talking about how strong someone is foreign policy-wise, Hillary is clearly the person who would be in more conflict.
Not really. I mean, I met Hillary once and Huma Abedin, and quite frankly, I couldn't stand both of them bitches. Sorry, it just is what it is.
Shit, Jack, they're gonna find you.
I don't give a flying fuck.
Have you seen that documentary?
You're gonna be an SJW target.
All the people that they killed or disappear.
And so what if I disappear? Big fucking deal.
We don't want that, Jack. We need you for the podcast. You'll kill us.
The truth is, this is the only reason why these people are getting wiped out, because they don't want other people to hear the truth.
That's true.
Well, I mean, this week alone, matter of fact, it came from shit. There was one. Oh goodness.
I mean, Russia at the moment is beyond a joke. Everybody who seems to oppose Putin seems to end up in a car accident or fallen out of a window or slipped over and broke their head open,
Mm.
There's been a couple of cases in America. I can't remember. There was one journalist got shot in the back for no reason. There was another case. Was it Michael Hastings, the journalist that crashed the car?
Yeah, it was Hastings, and as a matter of fact, Prince of Queens actually covered that on a couple of his live casts. It had to do with they think it had to do with the fact that he exposed a section of the NDAA 2012 reauthorization where the CIA was given carte blanche to now use propaganda on the U.S. on U.S. citizens rather than other countries like they've been doing for the past 60 or some odd years.
Yeah, what I heard was the statement was Michael Hastings found something out that was going to blow the lid off everything, and that was the reason he was trying to well, that was the reason he got in his car to get away. But you know, Alex Jones involved with the story. How believable does it become?
Well, with Alex Jones, it's always a kernel of truth, and then this big, vast, wide conspiracy that muddles the waters.
Okay, what's the kernel of truth behind him saying George Bush did 9/11?
Oh gosh, not this. No,
That's a loaded one.
No.
No worries, man.
Wait, I want to hear this. Defend yourself.
I wouldn't know about that aspect because in 2001 I was kind of on lockdown, and when the Twin Towers fell, I was in the woods in Georgia when it happened, so I wouldn't know.
I'm just messing with you, man. I just picked one of the random conspiracy theories he's pushed in the past.
Well,
you know,
I was expecting you to say lizard people, but you know,
They exist.
He's done that. He's done that too.
There was one that he was talking about pollution of something making frogs gay.
Oh God. The EPA is poisoning the water and making frogs turn gay.
Yeah, well, Salgado Macan researched this, and there actually is chemicals that can be put in the water to make a frog, transgender at least.
Wait,
What?
what was it called when those frogs can change their sex?
That was
From
like
male to
popcorn in
female.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, Jurassic Park.
No, this is real shit. They change
Yeah.
their, and yeah, depending on the temperature of whatever.
Yeah, it's damn, what is that called?
Iron Pond.
All right, now I remember the name of the conference I was talking about earlier. South by Southwest. That's the name.
Oh, yeah.
And they're the ones who had a separate day carved aside for anti-harassment talks, and it was a whole lot of noise for a whole lot of nothing.
I don't know. South by Southwest is just so commercial. It's not even funny. It's not really high tech stuff and whatever. It's just a bunch of media moguls and next video games.
Didn't it start as like a movie festival or something?
Yeah, it was a short film festival, and then they introduced gaming into it, and alternate reality games, ARGs, kind of like Pokemon Go is an ARG, which requires you to go out in your reality and play an alternate.
Wait, shit. Maybe it
reality.
wasn't South by Southwest then. Maybe I'm thinking of a different. God, dang it. No, it wasn't that one. If that's South by Southwest, and no, it wasn't that one. Dang it. I'll find it. I'll find it.
But there's a bunch of things that happen around that, where there's a lot of conferences in Austin that happen before South by Southwest and after. So people would go to the conference and go to South by Southwest, or go to South by Southwest and then go to the conference.
South by Southwest.
What? Sorry.
Just another venue to eat artisanal breads and cheeses.
But Jesus, baby Jesus.
Dead air.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still here.
Old, there must be something going on in Austin, because I know a lot of people that are moving out there for work and moving their business. Like HD Moore moved from Boston up to Austin.
Well,
God knows what reason.
Well,
Or it's like,
Austin-
there's a new San Francisco
Austin's
or
now,
something.
Yeah, Austin's becoming like the new. It's supposed to become the next Silicon Valley. So I mean, that's why a lot of tech is starting to get centered around there.
Yeah, they got a better internet pipe. They have much cheaper taxes. Their employees better because they're not paying so much.
Give it time. It'll become the new San Francisco Bay. Whenever I encounter an SJW, it's not from the San Francisco Bay. It's a very good chance they're either from like Portland or they're from Austin.
Right.
Come on now. You can't do that to me because I was thinking about relocating to Portland.
Well, it was nice.
I like Oregon. It's nice.
Well, until it starts raining all day.
I love rain.
Every day.
No sales tax though.
True.
Because there's a weed.
Yep.
Well, no, I just wanted to relocate to the West Coast, somewhere cheap and somewhere that was not fucking Seattle and not Northern Cali.
Portland's
there's a bunch of like small little towns that are very nice that are like near coastal that are pretty awesome.
And there's a Fry's in Wilsonville, Oregon, just south of Portland.
The Oregon sand dunes are pretty cool.
Yeah, too.
I went to
There's a town that starts with a V that has those dunes. I forget what it's called.
I went to a BMW bike rally in Oregon. Where were we? I think we were in Redmond. We're right by Bend.
I have no idea where either of those places.
It's southeast of Portland. A little bit.
The only thing I didn't like out there was all the like yuppie stuff that was going on, like the artisanal coffee houses and tofu. Like my company took us out to lunch one day out there, and it was like a vegan restaurant, and they had nothing but like tofurkey burgers and
cold turkey. Oh my god.
Oh gosh.
Like it was the worst. I had to eat like an Applebee's every day I was there.
You know that's bad when you have to settle for Applebee's.
This
Is anybody on the platform anything? Because I have a couple people that want to jump on. Anybody that's not saying anything?
I mean, I'll jump off.
I think my Applebee's comment was pretty solid.
Somebody just.
What the hell? You're in here twice?
Oh, by the way, I posted the Twitter thread where I got in a fight with a guy who is, I guess, Antifa. On Twitter, he was the dude who got shot at the Milo Yiannopoulos something a while back.
What?
Brian, are you speaking any?
Every now and then.
Okay, cool.
Is there any way to do the same thing, like set up like a Discord or something so everyone can join?
How do I record it?
You just gotta stream it through. There's like a full
like
channel.
you can do like open broadcast software and all that stuff.
And you can share your
I have to
stuff.
research how to go about that. Hey, Janie.
Hey, are we talking about SJWs and conferences?
Uh-huh.
We were a little bit, yes.
Yes, this is exactly why I joined.
Oh, welcome.
So tell us.
What were you guys talking about? Exactly.
Yeah, we just jump from random topic to topic. The last conference we talked about was South by Southwest, where it had a day dedicated to anti-harassment in tech. We're getting rid of harassment from tech and social media.
Tell us a little bit about the creative stuff.
So what was that, Jamie?
Did we talk about Shitlord Con?
We haven't talked about Shitlord Con.
We didn't?
Nope, not yet.
Nope.
Okay, great. You know, okay, great. I didn't miss it. Okay.
So what would you want Shitlord Con to be, Janie?
The only rule is no SJW. Not really like. So one of the reasons why I was like really into getting into security is because I thought it'd be like this community of like not people who are like SJWs. So going into InfoSec and seeing like these, I wish there was like a better word instead of SJWs because it's so like long. I kind of want to say like crybabies or something, but I wish there were fewer crybabies. What?
Cry bullies?
Yeah, exactly. Cry bullies.
I've also heard the term bigoteer used. Someone who wants to find bigotry everywhere and whine about it.
That gives a classic kind of spin on it, which is not. It's supposed to be a negative thing. Isn't it?
Yeah. So, how many of you guys went to DEF CON last year?
I did.
I did.
You guys did?
Yep.
I wonder if we met at all. But if you guys are going this year, hit me up. So I'm hoping to, because I'm not actually sure right now. Maybe we can get like, I don't know. Maybe we'll hold this off until like the next talk because I haven't really planned this out. But it would be nice to have a conference where there wouldn't be so much. I want to say this because I want to be really careful with what I say because I know this will be like put on YouTube
forever.
I know. Who knows? Like, who's going to be sent off to the firing squad like in 5 years from now, right?
It'll be me. It'll be me. I'll volunteer as tribute.
Volunteers tribute.
I'm a little bit careful with my words, but
As long as your name's not Janie.
right. So I'm like so kind of tired of this like babying like the perfect example happened today, right? At work, this woman who is white, she said to one of our coworkers who is Asian, was like, wow, your hair is so straight. How do you make your hair so straight? And so this woman who's like an older woman, she's Asian, she responded with like, well, I blow dry it. And then as she was like finishing her thing, she was like, I'm Asian. She was just like, why am I even like pretending like this is like a real question? It's because I'm Asian, I have straight hair, She was like, and so after this woman went, I looked at her and she was just like so annoyed. She was like, I don't know why I even like started to like answer with like such a bullshit answer. Obviously it's because I'm Asian. Like, I didn't want to like be rude or anything. Because obviously, like, I'm one of those people at work that people can be kind of straightforward to. And I kind of like that, I can also be straightforward with this other Asian person who doesn't like believe in PC culture or whatever. And look at how honest of a conversation we had. It's like she could have went and said like, oh, you just need to do this. And this woman would have probably went through this procedure to get her hair to be like super straight, and probably as soon as she went into like the humidity, her hair would have been poofy like mine. So how amazing was it that she was like, woman, I'm Asian, there isn't really much you can do to get your hair as straight as mine, right?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Takes us a while.
Wait, so how did they get the hair straight again?
Iron
She
it.
is Asian.
She was
She's Asian.
She got genetically modified when she was a baby.
She should have said, I use a little bit of lemon juice and a flattening iron.
When a weed and a body pillow fall in love. Okay.
The thing is, I was one of those people who hated curly hair, and for years I straightened my hair, and literally like as soon as I would go into like outside, it would get poofy again. And I would ask people the same thing, how do you get your hair so straight? But I was like 10 at the time, so I didn't know any better. But now as like a 28-year-old, I'm not going to be asking people that.
Right.
You've been around long enough.
Yeah, to understand like sometimes you're just born with it.
Sometimes it's Maybelline.
But sometimes you don't.
So what was social justice warrior about all that?
The thing is like some things may be like PC. Like everyone has the opportunity to have straight, beautiful hair. No, I don't. No matter how much I try, I'm never gonna get straight hair. That's another thing. Like we need to kind of admit. Like I'm 5'2". No matter what I do, I'm never gonna be able to wear the same clothes as a girl who's like 5'5" or something. So I just need to like wear clothes that look good on my like short legs, you know?
Yeah, you gotta accept your body the way it is because that's the way you're fucking born with it. So you gotta deal with it.
But I will say this, I was not always thin. So that's something I worked hard for. So that's not like a body positivity thing where like just be fat and embrace your fatness, right? I'm not pushing that.
Shit, I want a TV show one day. Be in a bed all day, getting paid.
Right?
Yeah, that's something I'm not going to push. So if you want to be thin, you got to work hard for it.
Steve Wozniak is my personal trainer.
Stallman is mine.
You can only go to an open source.
InfoSec stuff. We should totally have like, you know how they had like TiaraCon at DEF CON last year?
Yep.
So what do you? Who says I for and who says nay for Shitlord Con? For Shitlord Con.
Wait, what?
That's a 1 year thing. I'd be fine with that.
It should start out small. I don't think we should start it off as its own like huge convention. It should be like a little mini thing like TiaraCon.
So TiaraCon did have speakers and everything and had fundraising.
Yes, I am willing to donate to this. So I'm just saying, like, we should have a small thing, not a small thing, but we should test out the waters, you know, do a little bit of market research first, you know, like do a test drive first, and then we'll do like a huge con.
Do you know how much a suite costs at Caesars? I'm wondering.
No, we'll have it at my room. Like I have a huge room at a Caesar's Palace. Actually, I don't know how big my room is, but I mean, I'm willing to support this.
Are you getting the $30,000 a night penthouse?
No, I don't. Okay, so we'll
How big is it?
Okay, if I come to DEF CON, can I sleep on your floor?
No.
Is there a Bengal tiger in it?
I'm kind of like, I only want, sorry, if I'm going to like care
No,
for
I'm
people,
not.
it's going to be women. Sorry.
No, I'm not. I'm not even sure if I'm going.
I can wear a wig.
Identifies as.
No, I don't, sorry, I have to be a biological.
Did you just assume my race and gender?
Yeah, I know. Just because I have a deep voice doesn't mean I'm a man,
okay?
I totally, this conversation alone, I'm like totally blacklisted from everything in InfoSec right now, probably.
Actually,
yep.
InfoSec isn't nearly as bad about that stuff. It's like developer world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
Not for lack
developers
of
are just a
trying,
bunch of drama queens.
Okay, so how many are for Shitlord Con? Say I.
Well, who would be? I.
I. Okay, cool.
I don't know yet.
I'm down for it.
What was that?
I said I don't know yet.
I will accept
Supported
the
if
free
you
play
were
ticket.
an attendee.
But look, check this out. I can get a speakeasy in Vegas that I know the owner from.
Oh
that
my
could
goodness.
be a cool party.
Win. Do it.
And then I'm gonna tell you this because I do go to DEF CON, but I don't go to DEF CON. I meet with my friends around the vicinity. So,
yep.
And then we go to Burning Man.
I go to DEF CON to partake in the festivities, poker, and alcohol.
Yeah. Because all the assholes you're gonna meet inside DEF CON, you can meet them outside too.
Yep.
Yeah, I usually go for mostly hallway con. I don't spend a whole lot of time in talks. But at least in previous years, they usually had like one floor. Like in Bailey's, they had one floor where most of the room parties were. And that's kind of where all those people, I think the easiest thing to do would be to have a suite. I'm not sure how much a suite costs.
So I was briefly at GRCon last year, and suite was completely packed, and they apparently didn't have enough room for everyone who wanted to come.
Right.
I think it was a suite. But it's considering advertised well. ShitLordCon would easily outstrip TiaraCon in the number of people that attend. Just plan for overflow.
Okay.
Also,
or plan
tour
for a
camp-
limit on the
tour-
number of people.
Also, what is it? Is it tour camp? Whatever it is, where they go camping. I haven't gone to it yet, but I want to do it.
Who's gonna spearhead this Shitlord Con? Who's spearheading it? Adrian?
I don't like.
From
I
speaking.
try to avoid responsibility if all possible.
What?
I try to avoid responsibility whenever possible.
The only thing is, like, I even already have my plan set up. There may be something else that comes up, and I would hate to, like, cancel at the last minute. And I'm, like, waiting for that thing to, like, be finalized. So, otherwise, I would totally spearhead this otherwise.
All right, we need money. I need $10,000. We'll talk. Just kidding.
Send me your PayPal. Transfer
Yeah,
to
send me your credentials. I need your credit card number, date of birth, social security.
Why don't we do a crowdfund or a GoFundMe? Didn't Captain Crunch do one recently for his medical fees?
Oh, don't even go there.
His fake medical fees.
He's friends with Wozniak and he's friends with Bill Gates and stuff, and then he's going around to small groups of hackers and telling them that his arm's falling off, his leg's falling off.
And here's another thing, like, when you're old, and I mean, honestly, I don't know, like, how much his medical bills are, and I know, yes, medical, like, treatment is, like, expensive here, but at the same time, like, when you're at that age, like, what did you do with, like, all the life work you've done and all the, like, the money you've made? Like, it kind of sounds like he, like, squandered his all his money or something. If he can't.
I think it's more of a game to him. I'm pretty sure.
It's a what?
No. He lives his life. He just likes drugs. It's okay.
See,
He goes to Burning
all I
Man.
heard was that he likes children.
What?
That's what people keep saying.
Yeah, I wasn't going to mention that, but yeah, he even mentioned something when we were talking to him about that.
He's a pedophile?
Some people have said that. I have no idea.
He turned around in a hangout and said, "There's something about little boys, but blah blah blah. That's a long time in the past, and this, that, and the other." And
Were
I was
you
like,
under 18 or under 16 or whatever?
I don't know. I don't know any of the circumstances, but let's just put it this way: he came to a group of my friends and started harassing them for money, and we did a little bit of googling and a bit of research, and found out that he'd done it numerous times in the past to other people, telling them that it was different stuff. Like, I don't want to talk shit about him because, in my opinion, right, if I didn't know all this stuff about him, he'd be like my hero because he's such a cool fucking dude. Some of the hacks and some of the stories he's got to tell are amazing. But then what I've discovered from the community and the kind of shit that went on in the past, it's just, I've got no time for people like that.
He's accomplished a lot. It's best to focus on the positives, I guess.
As long as it's legitimate, because I don't, like, there's, like, a lot of character assassinations going on, including with people who I know. So I'm, like, trying to be really careful about things I believe, especially when I haven't heard, like, the whole story or whatever evidence is being putting forward. But anyways, back to Shitlord Con.
Look, wait. But before you go there, the situation we have today is that everybody lives in a drama-based society, and they take their online actions into IRL, and then they make it all about drama and starting a conversation, even though it's not true. It's like the snowball, it
Yeah,
just
let's
gets bigger and bigger and
even
bigger.
go there. Yeah, thank you for pointing this out. Shitlord Con, who's going to spearhead it? Who's going to start the crowdfunding campaign?
Let's have a meeting and then talk about it.
Okay.
No meetings. I'm sick of fucking meetings.
No, I'll start drafting the PowerPoint.
Yeah, Jack, time we arranged that meeting about the meeting.
Before the meeting, about the meeting that's going to take place for the next week's meeting.
Yeah, that's it.
Look, if we don't do it, if we don't organize now, it's gonna go shit show con. So nobody's gonna go. I'll call my friend for the speakeasy. I need dates, and I'll see what he thinks about it. And
Yeah, I think
we
having
can
it
go from
off-site would be a problem, man. Having it off-site is just going to make it harder for people to come by. I'm thinking more of like a room.
Not with
It's-
Uber.
No. It's downtown Vegas. It's behind a restaurant, and it
Yeah.
connects to a secret ballroom to a really well-known hotel.
As long as it's walkable from the Caesar's Palace, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, it's definitely walkable.
I'm
Because
having
I
my
know a lot of cheapskate infosec people who like make good money but are like super cheap.
Well, the parties are typically free to enter, so if it's cost, I don't think.
I mean, like they're too cheap to like take a taxi or something.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
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 Adrian.
What the fuck's wrong?
Hold on.
Got it.
Who are my friends? I gotta reestablish. Think this. No, it should be fine. I mean, we can all get like a little van or something and pick them up. If anything, I can arrange that. I know people in Vegas. Should be fine.
Yeah, the
Or
plumber
at that
van.
point, why not just gather at the strip club that John McAfee goes to every year?
John McAfee.
It's so far. That strip club is so far.
Yeah.
I
wasn't
really
there
think-
wasn't there a shuttle there last year?
So last year, I wanted to go to that John McAfee party, but I couldn't find a single person who wanted to drive all the way out there. So what ended up happening? Nobody went.
What? You didn't have Uber or anything to drop you off?
Dude, I rent a car at the airport, like
I guess they
That's
want to
the
go.
best way to do it. Rent a car. Yeah.
$60 for like 4 days at the airport. Why you wouldn't rent a car and take like 16 Ubers the whole weekend is beyond me, but whatever.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I'm saying. You can rent a van.
Yeah, I have an enterprise card. Like,
But really, like, ideal is like walking distance because people want to go where they can just like go in and out. So if it sucks, if it's not like their thing, they can just leave immediately. Like, oh well, I only walked like 5 minutes to get here.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is no reason why I think
Most
it's.
things are.
I mean, I know I did that. Like, I went to like so many things and I was like, this is not for me. Let me get out of here. Can't imagine like having spent like $20 and then like I have to wait on other people to leave together.
sounds like we need.
I don't know.
I don't get John McAfee. He's very well
Here we
spoken.
go with the drama snowball, and then you guys are like, "Oh, sorry." I just had to point that out.
I think McAfee's a man.
You think he's a what?
He's very
I think
well
he's
spoken. I mean, he makes excellent arguments in favor of privacy. Very cogent, and he's a very good speaker. And then the day after, he goes to Infowars.
He's just
I
a
don't get him.
strange dude. And he's like hides out and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Skips
Oh,
murder
yeah, I was there at
charges.
DEFCON
He's got
22 when he
power.
described his history.
I don't know. We should have him on. Who knows him? Call him up.
He also said he changes his cell phone once a week. For whatever you want to believe on that.
Believe that.
I believe it.
Yeah.
He said he tapes his old phones to the back of some other people's cars or under the table of random diners as he tries to escape from the assassins from the Belizean government who are out to kill him.
I would believe it. I mean, Belize is very powerful. Mafia driven.
Aren't they gonna make a
Yes,
fleet?
but if he was seriously scared for his life, why would he go to a predictable location every single year? DEFCON.
Well, you could go to a predictable location every year, but as long
I
as
guess
you
we killed him in the
events
podcast.
every year.
I don't know. Sorry.
You'd think he'd gotten shanked by now if he really had the Belizean government after him.
He has people with him. You don't see him. They're girls that can fight, actually.
I have seen his wife. She looks like she can fight.
who? His wife?
His wife.
Yeah.
She looks like she can fight.
She got the Madonna arms and everything going.
What?
Yeah, I guess.
The Madonna arms, you know, like when you meet a girl that has like
Yeah.
fucking ripped ass arms, you're like, shit, this bitch is gonna fucking slap my head off.
For the very first time.
All right, is anybody want to drop off so we can get some other people wanting to join in?
I guess I'll leave.
Anybody?
Okay, I'll go.
You go.
No,
Okay, well, I want to.
Jack.
I'll go. I mean, I'm in the YouTube live stream anyway, so.
Yeah, I'll jump in.
Whoever's not participating should probably leave.
Yeah, I could jump. I'm kind of multitasking here anyway.
Everybody's gonna leave.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Or not.
Thanks.
Okay.
You got
How
that
many-
speaker, so
How many
I'll be
people
on.
are waiting?
See you, Pseudo.
yeah, peace, Mike. Peace.
2, I think. Thanks, Pseudo.
No worries. Peace, guys.
See you soon.
I'll be on Mumble anyway, so if you guys want to chat after or you want to join and just come and have a.
Oh,
Cool.
can you link,
I'll probably
can you
have
link
fun
that
this
Rumble
week.
again? I didn't get it last week.
Oh, yeah, it's in the show notes. If you link to the show notes, I think it might still be in there.
Okay, thanks, bud.
I'll double check. But yeah, peace. It's been fun, and I'll catch up with you guys next week or something.
See you, Pseudo.
Hey, so at the beginning when I joined in, using my cameras on, did you see anything other than my hand covering the camera
I
lens?
didn't see. I couldn't make out.
Oh yeah.
I don't really pay attention to the screen.
We
Okay.
saw some live beef.
Yeah, okay.
We saw something look like a Jewish lizard. That's all we saw.
Shit, the goyim no.
I didn't
That's
see it.
on other places.
Uh-oh, that sounded kind of against the COC.
It's okay, it's okay. I'm a kike.
I'm going to be blacklisted for laughing.
I prefer the term JUCO, as in like Jewish gecko.
I remember this guy.
I'm a
He wouldn't burn Windows XP for me, and I had to ask some other buddies. And I was in like grade 8, and these guys were like in grade 11 and all that. And the guy's name was Jason. And so I had to ask another friend. He's like, "Yeah, I'll burn it for you. Don't mind him. We always call him Juicin."
Ooh. All right, Cole. What do you have to say for yourself? Got on. Cole.
What?
Yo,
How's it going, man?
Hey,
how's it going?
Who just joined?
What's up?
Cole.
Hi-yo.
Hello.
Yeah, the escapist hasn't figured out how to join yet. I don't think.
Who?
Or his message. The escapist.
The Escapist. That sounds like
What's
a
going
Houdini
on?
character. Does he do magic?
Hi, I did. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, how are you today?
Hello.
What's up, man?
So, what do you think about the discussion at hand?
What's up, dude?
What's your story?
Hello.
Hello. We don't speak any English. We don't speak the English.
The discussion thing, what we were discussing a bit ago, if we could organize something like Shitlord Con, Akashic Flow is talking about getting something off-site, but depending on how far off-site that is, I don't think you can get people to go there. I'm thinking, especially for like a first year or two thing, do something like TerraCon where you have a suite and people can come in and out, and it would be at the same hotel. I don't know how much a suite costs at Caesars, but
All right, I'll put down $5,000 if you get it all working.
I'll put down $1,000 as well.
I'll put down 1 Bitcoin.
That's like
There you go.
$1,200.
Well, depends on the day we cash it. Right?
Exactly. I'm hoping for a huge crash.
Yeah. Today is worth $1,200. Tomorrow it could be $200. So let's do it now.
Can't believe I freaking sold a Bitcoin for like $30 several years ago. Kicking myself for that shit.
Ouch.
Dude.
That sucks.
Dude.
Ouch.
Back in the day, you could make 20 Bitcoins in one day. with a crappy computer.
Yep.
Oh yeah, man.
There were like 3 Bitcoins was a penny. I remember that.
And now Bitcoin's like what, competing for gold and
It's higher than
your
gold
price
right
It
now.
passed gold, yeah. It passed gold a little
It
while
I
ago.
don't
doubled
mean
gold.
in price, but more so in purpose.
In liquidity and use, it's way past gold. Like you can do things with Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies that you could never hope to do with gold.
Yeah. And
But how much actual economic activity is really taking place of Bitcoin right now?
Oh my God, it's
Billions of
huge.
dollars.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Billions of dollars every day.
Are there any Bitcoin millionaires out there?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Many.
There's Bitcoin billionaires. I know 2.
Yeah.
Until their
Eric Voorhees and Roger Ver are both likely Bitcoin billionaires.
Jackson,
If they cash out $1 billion, that's gonna trigger a panic, and that's gonna drive the price way down.
They wouldn't, yeah, but you wouldn't cash out those large holdings in a cryptocurrency. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Those are long-term holdings. I mean, they might do day trading with a little bit less capital, but I couldn't see them ever wanting to do that because the trend in Bitcoin has only ever gone up, except for the huge tank that it took in 2013.
Well, I'd be worried about governments eventually doing something to kill the currency.
They're already
Well,
trying, though.
Talking about Bitcoin, you can't. They can't do anything to it.
No, they already did with those
They
brothers.
They certainly can. They can criminalize.
Well,
Bitcoin
they're already
ATMs.
trying, though.
Wait.
Capital
This is the
gains on
thing. No. Let me tell you this. Bitcoin is considered a Class A commodity. So you have to declare it just like gold.
Yeah, but you don't, though.
Yeah, I know,
because
but because of that, if they find you with Bitcoins, this is the loophole where they get you. Because you did not declare a Class A commodity, blah 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 type of shit.
I think that depends what country you're going into, though, doesn't it? Because I've traveled internationally multiple times since having small holdings in Bitcoin and never been questioned about it. It's never even come up. So how would they even act on that?
Well, basically, say in the border, if they stop you, right?
Yeah.
And they fucking go through your shit, and they find your Bitcoin wallet.
What does that mean?
Meaning,
What do you mean? What do you mean? Find my Bitcoin wallet?
If they find your Bitcoin wallet and they can,
Yeah, but I mean, but I have a Bitcoin wallet that's a hardware wallet that also has multiple hidden wallets on it. So I could open up a wallet to them that shows them that I have 0 Bitcoin in that wallet.
Yeah.
While I have maybe thousands of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars on that same hardware wallet, but under a different account.
Yeah, but then again, you're dealing with people that have, depending where you are and which country, they'll have their right forensic equipment to actually map out all that.
Yeah, but that's not a possible thing. I don't think. I would definitely. Okay, so let me take a step back. I would recommend reading into some of the white papers on some of the hardware wallets that have come out, because you're right. There's definitely a lot of sidechain factors, but that's the big use case for hardware wallets, is to mitigate those factors so that you don't get compromised. So and Tracer and KeepKey have both done a lot of really great work in that area.
Yeah, but this is the other thing. I'm not saying like they're gonna do it, whatever. I'm just saying if the possibility happened that they were to find your wallet somehow and they know about it, that's when they charge you with it.
Got you.
See what I'm saying? I'm not
Yeah.
Go,
I
misunderstood. Right
away,
okay, it's okay, but I mean, you have a point too. Who is this person?
Sorry.
Hey, James.
Hello.
Oh
yeah, James is. We have a beer challenge, beer challenge going on.
We have 2 Jameses.
What?
We have
James. Yeah.
No, I get what you're saying, though. There's a lot of different attack vectors against Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general. The thing is that banks and large nations are already trying those things. They're already trying a number of attacks. And every time that they try something new, the Bitcoin network finds a way to defend itself. which ultimately means that developers find a way to beat that problem. And it's just like the security race and the rest of development. It's like the attackers come up with something to harm the system, so the defenders have to come up with a new antibody.
And there's no way the federal government would be able to keep up with the internet development.
Well,
Oh,
no,
hell
this is
no.
the thing. There is no way any government can fight the collective consciousness of billions of people working together.
Exactly.
Their
So they
resources
can
are just
sever all the
not there.
fibers.
Still, if you sever all the fiber optics and I have the right antenna equipment, I can still communicate.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
with millions of people.
Like, believe me.
Yeah, you can.
Yes.
Ham radio.
Believe me, I did SATCOM for a long time.
There's not going to be billions of people doing it.
No, but you don't need billions of people. You need just one guy like me or like our friend over here
Well-
who knows how to do it, and then you can spread out a mesh network. That's all you have to do. Give them the
There's only
time.
one
Can't
lot of
stop
people with their own.
a bunch of nerds in a single city.
Yep.
Exactly.
Hell yeah. Because we want to talk to each other, so we're gonna find a way.
Yeah, that's where ham radio came.
And that too, as Brian knows, apparently there's this like network, GPRS network, that you can have kind of like a minimal internet type of thing. He knows,
GPRS.
something like it's like a ham radio. I didn't know
APRS.
about it. Is it a call? That's what it is.
Yeah,
Whoever
it's APRS.
APRS, sorry.
Yeah, it's ham radio over internet, basically.
James, get your shit together.
What?
So, all right, I'm cutting a mortise on a door.
Popping up every like 2 seconds because he won't stop touching his phone.
Oh no.
Oh no, the drama. Close
What
your
are
eyes
you
for a
talking
little
about?
bit.
Death and destruction, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to be able to stop the collective consciousness of millions of people knowing how to program, and every year more people know how to program, which is amazing.
Hell yeah.
It's
Well.
gonna just change everything. It's like right now, back in the day, if you needed something, you had to build everything from scratch. Right now, you're just, building Legos. At least you find
To a
this
point.
module, that thing.
What would you? So they can easily disrupt they easily disrupt all of those people doing what they're doing. Like, you can take down GitHub for a day, and there's going to be a lot of hell. You can take down GitHub for like forever. And while people would recover, it would be a massive disruption.
Of course, I'm not saying that the initial situation when it happens is going to also create a problem, but what I'm trying to say is it's not sustainable in our current digital environment. You know what I mean?
As long as the FBI does not win out on the crypto wars 2.0.
Yeah, I don't think they can. I think just like the practicality, like we've been talking about, is it's so much favored on our side. I mean, they can definitely do things that make it way harder and make it a pain in the ass, like the export laws and all the DMCA, all that shit. But ultimately, we're going to win out because, I don't know, people inherently want to be free.
Except for SJWs.
I had to rejoin when I heard y'all start talking about the Bitcoin stuff. What happens to Bitcoin when a new cryptocurrency becomes a dominant one?
Then that cryptocurrency becomes the dominant one.
Yeah, and
Bitcoin,
the money, and meanwhile, I mean, anything you had in Bitcoin, it's it's gonna tank severely.
That's ridiculous. If you go to currency markets at that point, you got to see which goods are backed by what currency. Unless every single good that Bitcoin covers is replaced by the new currency, then it's just going to be like a replica of the current currency markets.
Yeah, currency's fault too. I mean, Bitcoin isn't necessarily here. It's not necessarily stable and something that's gonna near guaranteed to maintain value or preserve wealth. I mean, it's there's definitely it's got to be treated as volatile and can devalue to nothing in a relatively short time.
Well, hugely volatile. I mean, I think people that are just getting into it too that don't really know the history of it might see like, oh, it's staying right around $1,000, It might go up a bit and go down a bit, but it's right around 1,000. Okay, that's volatile, but not so bad. They don't remember when it was going from $100 to $700 to $50. You know what I mean? Like when it was just jumping around like crazy.
And there's
Also,
no
I
saying
think
that won't happen again.
there's not, exactly. And so I think I would hope that at least it wouldn't happen overnight. But even if it did, hopefully you would be able to get out your holdings soon enough to where you don't lose everything. And hopefully you don't have everything in Bitcoin anyway. And then you can just switch over to the other currency. And as long as it's not something like Fed coin or eCoin, then you should be okay.
Yeah, but just by the nature of it, it is like a new type of currency, so there's going to be new problems that we haven't seen up. You know, somebody. I mean, we might see somehow, like 100 new cryptocurrencies suddenly all be vying for a position, and they're all essentially, not worth much. And they could drag Bitcoin down with them potentially. I mean, I'm not saying that would happen or how feasible that would be, but there could be all kinds of problems that that aren't even on our radar now, because this is not a type of currency it's been used before. So we don't know the unknown problems that it's definitely things that we can't even think of right now.
Well, and it's already playing out like that too. And that's why I'm so interested to spend the rest of my career searching out those problems.
But something you can do too that I've done in the past is just you can treat it like a stock market, and you just sell when it's high, buy when it's low, and you can multiply your investment.
But how many people are, I mean, you could do that with the dollar right now too, or whatever your native currency is, or non-native currencies, and how many people are actually doing that, even though we all know that's the most sensible way to handle it.
But
some are, the masses aren't. I mean, some people are for sure, but most people you know or meet on the street, I mean, they're not day trading their dollars in their pocket. I mean, come on.
Dude, Agora has a futures, a Bitcoin market, so you can bet on futures and stuff like that. I believe it's called. I really don't know. I don't do it, but. And
Forex trading has a lot more barriers to entry to be profitable than you do with Bitcoin. Right now,
I'm glad you said to be profitable.
Yeah, because the software or the margins in Bitcoin, you're not getting really sophisticated traders in there yet. I don't think, at least not on the level of like Forex traders. Like those guys are throwing high frequency trading algorithms that are worked on by PhDs, like teams of PhDs.
Yeah.
Whereas in Bitcoin, you might have like a team of like some master's students or maybe like one doctorate.
No, I wouldn't.
Maybe.
I wouldn't. No. There's guys that know what they're doing. It's like those twin brothers that got shut down.
Yeah.
By the whatever, the trade commission. Like their team is pretty legit, and all the people from like Ethereum and all that stuff. I talked to one of the guys.
So you think that they can compete as far as like technical prowess with anybody that's doing regular like Forex or stock trading?
Yeah, it's just statistical models. All it changes is your variable, and you have you have your peak and your valleys, and then you go to short it or depending on how much you want, it depends. Also, you got to study the volatility of the market, and once you have those variables down, like all those people just put it on a computer and they print out a model, which is a chart that has all the stuff in there, and then you predict it. I mean, it's just gambling. It is gambling at its finest, but just legal gambling.
Totally. But well, I don't agree that the people currently in Bitcoin would be able to like defend against something like that, because if they were capable of running that kind of algorithmic, network reliably and profitably, they wouldn't be on Bitcoin. They'd be doing it wherever they can turn the money with their algorithms.
But they don't have to run the network.
Bitcoin is just another market, just like the Forex market.
Right. So right now, there's not enough money in it to day trade in it, and you pull out all the the big guns and the analytics to the big players that use it on Wall Street, But if it gets to that point, then yeah, I mean, the big players are they're going to go wherever they can make money. You know, whatever kind of market. You know, whether it's a little, podunk, small precious metals market, or whether it's one of the big exchanges, or whether it's Forex, or I mean, they're going to go wherever they can put their CPU cycles to work. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't they?
So what's keeping them out of Bitcoin?
It's not profitable. It's not profitable enough for them.
But it's more profitable. Okay, I see what you're saying. So because of the scale at which they're trading, they can't scale it the same way. So even though for a small guy or a medium guy in Bitcoin or other crypto, you can be profitable, not profitable at the level that they need it to be.
Yeah. Right. I mean, when you talk about the huge, multi-billion-dollar hedge funds and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
but something like that, it's just a different environment, because these people they flip their trades daily. They have to.
Well, they flip it in microseconds as well.
Yeah.
The high frequency trading stuff, exactly.
Yeah. So this is the thing. At least like if you want to be a good a trader, is that you have to literally diversify your portfolio. So what do you do if you're into currencies? I have Bitcoin assets, and then I have USD assets. I have yen. I have Chinese currency, and I have different currencies that I can just manipulate and just shift around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Another reason that Bitcoin's not really in that mix yet is Bitcoin isn't traded in a market with other currencies. You can't. Yeah. You can't do Bitcoin on Forex, for example.
No, you would have to do an intermediary trade on a Bitcoin exchange to some fiat.
Yeah, but this is the thing. There's a difference between money and currency. So you have to see what is the currency being evaluated on. Like a lot of our dollar is based on gold. That's the money, and then the dollar is
wait. A lot of whose dollar is based on gold?
Because it hasn't been the U.S. since the 20s.
I know.
No. The U.S. Turned fiat in the 70s.
70s?
Yeah.
Because we completed the transition in the 70s. It started before then.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
But I recall it being in the 70s because France wised up and realized that our currency was backed by gold, and it was like, hey, we'll take any transactions of monies you owe us in U.S. dollars, and then they would go to the U.S. and say, hey, we want gold, and it was one story about a shipment of gold that came out of Fort Knox from Stanford Field, and they didn't know where it was going until it hit the news that it had landed in France. And that started.
How long ago was that there's actually something there to ship out?
That was in the 70s, and believe it or not, there still is gold in Fort Knox, or so they tell me.
There's servers in Fort Knox. Money is digital.
No,
there's a bunch of Bitcoin miners at Fort Knox now.
I'm sure they still got a showroom with a few pallets so they can show, like Germany. Yeah, this is your gold, and then shuffle them out and bring in Japan. Yeah, this is your gold. Yeah,
No. I'm talking about the vault that you could drive by and see. There's still gold in there. It's just they don't talk about how much is in there. So, I mean, it could be a pallet. I heard it's a whole lot more, and the rooms are sealed off with security tags. That part I do know.
It's a gold-plated TSA key.
Yeah, I was just going to say something about it. Even if you see a pallet of the bars, you're only seeing the outside of the bars. So,
right.
Can you not speak drop off escapists can join?
Could be hollow in the middle.
Okay, I got you.
I'll jump back out. I just wanted to come in on the Bitcoin thing.
Alrighty. Thank you, man.
I'm going to pop off too. I'll be listening though. So.
Later.
Goodbye.
See ya.
All right, let's see if Escapist joins. Assuming he's following in a different chat. Got a different Twitter chat going with him. We're popular tonight.
That's a good thing.
We've been popular the last 2 nights, eh? We've been maxed out the room.
Yeah, I need to start looking at alternate ways of doing this. But then again, if you get over 9 people, you'll be talking over each other anyway.
Not necessarily. I mean,
It only happens in wonderful moments. It's okay.
Yeah, we got a whole lot of ho hum for like the first half hour at least in most of these streams, and then the conversation actually takes off someplace.
Yeah, it gets good around like 1.
After all the mead.
Yep.
Hey, oh, do you have any new meads?
No, I have no meat. I'm at a friend's house, so I can't dive into the booze too deeply. But they did give me some moonshine.
I was about to say, well, if you're in West
You're not
Virginia,
going too
Appalachia, might as well partake in a little bit of apple pie.
Oh.
Apple pie moonshine?
Yeah.
Oh. Six.
Yeah.
I
Infocesta makes that from time to time, a mixed drink called apple pie, which is pretty good.
How do you
Don't
make
worry,
an
I'm
apple
gonna
pie?
find you the weirdest mead I could ever find when I see you in person one day. I'll give it to you.
The weirdest mead?
Yeah, like one of those crazy meads. I've seen a couple of bottles online. They're pretty crazy, like with the artwork.
Oh.
They have like weird names. Some of them.
I thought it was going to be like Cobra's liver mead.
Oh no! I wouldn't try to kill Adrian. Could you imagine that Cobra? Do they do that?
Oh, I'm just going to say that would be pretty freaking weird, though.
I don't know anything about mead. He's the meat expert. Come on,
Well,
Adrian.
Mead
Tell
Nectar
us.
has a bunch of different varieties of meads and melomels, which is basically a fruit juice and a honey fermented. Got some really good ones.
Sounds really good.
Most of the artwork is based on movies on the side.
But they're pretty
crazy because I saw.
Oh,
what the hell?
Huh?
Make sure you have a headset.
I'll help you out.
Muted.
Alright.
Knew that was coming.
Caught
You
him.
can unmute yourself, I believe. Or something in the chat. You can unmute himself, right?
Yes, he can.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or did he mute himself? Because I can't unmute him.
I think he did.
On his own sword. What a man.
Yeah, but Bee Nectar is my favorite company for getting meats from. Just depends on where you can find them. You can find them in Indiana pretty well now, in parts of Ohio, but they're actually out of Michigan.
Is it illegal in some states or?
Eat?
Not to my knowledge.
No.
It only applies to certain size containers. Some states
illegal in
have that
Utah.
stupid. Really, meat is legal?
No, I'm just making fun of Utah and everything being
I was gonna say, it does sound like a Utah law, though.
There are all rules about who can brew and who can't. Like my understanding is, if you're a beer place and you brew beer, you have to have a different license to brew mead because it's considered a wine.
Huh.
Now I would think the same equipment and the same, sanitation process would be the same. It'd be the same in both beer and wines, but apparently
I see.
you have different licenses, at least in Indiana.
Interesting. I just was wondering, it was like considered moonshine in some states or something like that.
Oh, what is the rules on moonshine? Because I know people that make their own whiskey, but I'm not sure they legally can.
It depends per state, I believe. Some states you can do it for your own consumption. You just can't sell it.
Right.
So I just don't know really the laws on that, but I bet James knows.
I do not.
Yeah, it's legal in most states to brew it for yourself, beer, mead, whiskey, moonshine, whatever. But yeah, you can't bottle and resell. That's when it becomes illegal. Because I believe, I know during Prohibition, alcohol was handled like the Prohibition. The people that were doing that was the IRS, and it has to do with taxes and crap like that. That's why you can't brew it and sell it because you don't pay your tax stamps and all the other crap.
Whoa.
Bro.
Got it, Christopher?
Huh?
Nope.
What's up?
You can hear yourself.
Yeah, dude.
Whoa.
Hello.
Welcome to the Technology Podcast,
Sorry, I'll mute myself.
where nobody knows technology.
Oh, you need his earphones. Get some earphones. I hear something's about to explode. What's that?
Oh, can you guys hear that beeping?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I hear the beep.
Stupid.
Holy shit! It's an episode of 24.
It's not me.
Stupid fire alarm thing from my complex.
Yeah, so like something about to explode.
It's been going on for like 3 days.
Oh,
Are you guys able to hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, well, yeah, we can hear you, but we can hear yourself.
Yeah, a whole lot of echo going on.
Sorry, I'll mute myself after I talk.
Is this Escapist?
Yes, this is the Escapist.
Ah, welcome to the stream.
Thank you, thank you.
Do you do magic?
Yes, welcome.
So we went
First
from
time.
Crash Override to Shitlord Con to Bitcoin to a few other things in between. Question for you: how traceable is Bitcoin? Because my understanding is, if you're actually monitoring the blockchain, you can get an idea of what IP is exchanging what with what.
Incredibly traceable.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is very
As
traceable.
long-
That's
yeah.
by design. The books are open for everyone in the entire world.
I've heard the exact same thing.
Yeah, but the
What-
thing is, you need the wallet, and through the wallet, then you can find the information. As long as you don't have that, you should be fine.
How about Bitcoin tumblers? How well do those work as far as obfuscating?
Not very well, from what I'm told.
No, they just basically scramble the data. It's kind of like taking a paper shredder and then gluing up the pieces.
What you want to do, if you want to hide your transactions or gain more privacy, is shapeshift, which is basically a way to go from one blockchain to another. So, like, say from Bitcoin to Ethereum, but instead you go from Bitcoin to Monero to Zcash. Monero and Zcash both have elements. One uses ring signatures, the other is zero knowledge proofs to encrypt everything about the transaction. So that makes the transaction entirely private. Then you can do the shapeshift back out to Bitcoin, which is easier to turn into fiat. And then you you should probably do that all over Tor in an anonymous location.
Well, wait. But can you basically you dump it out on another wallet, or you dump it out on the same wallet?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Well, either one. You could really do it on either one. If you want to gain the most separation, you should probably do it on separate wallets, probably even on separate devices, so separate hardware wallets. Maybe even separate brands. So if you have a Trezor, maybe buy a Keep Key and have your output wallet be the Keep Key and your input wallet be the Trezor, or vice versa. And again, there are side channel attacks. If somebody's watching you, so watching your traffic, they can probably do some traffic analysis. There's a lot of papers out there by some doctorates that kind of did a research study on statistically analyzing the blockchain to determine identities. So people that have organizations that have large amounts of transactions, they were able to de-anonymize those accounts based on knowing only a portion of the accounts and tying it back to the other ones.
Yeah.
And I'm not a stats guy, so I can't quote their science on that.
Actually, was that what that George dude was talking about the last podcast?
I think so.
Yeah, so that's actually a huge problem right now, is solving the privacy issue. The coins that have been getting the most attention actually are the ones that are trying to solve that and the block size. So Dash is gaining a lot of its popularity because of speed of transaction and scalability.
But is it safe?
I don't think so. I don't like it because they use a federated model. So they have these things called supernodes. And basically you pay, I think it's like 1,000 dash or something like that, which I think now ends up to like 60 grand or 6 grand. I can't remember what last evaluated at. Anyway, some large amount of money that you have to donate. This gets you basically a node that has voting rights. So whereas on Bitcoin, basically the voting happens by, it's like an implicit vote. So whatever software the miners adopt, whatever software end users adopt, so the wallet software that gets used, and then also the software that the verifiers and the exchanges use. So that basically makes them, you vote by what software you use, whereas in Dash, you vote with your money by being one of these super nodes.
Interesting.
And there's no other way to vote. The only way to vote on this network is to be a super node. So that's why I don't really like it. But that being said, it's very, very popular, and it's still less federated than like the credit card industry.
I see.
I still don't trust it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm just wondering because like I've heard about people who like do like custom beef hooks, and they're able to make you think you did the transaction. What you actually did was basically put the money on my wallet, type of thing.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
You know Beef, right? The browser exploiting framework, whatever, Beef. Hello?
I know of it.
Okay, so basically with Beef, you create this beef hook, and you man in the middle of the traffic, and then you inject this JavaScript code, of course, and then if they're using like any web-based like wallet or anything web app type wallet, you can basically inject stuff into the wallet. So every time they make a transaction, it falls into whatever wallet you want.
Yeah. So it's like a salami slicing scam. You just take a little bit off the top every time.
Yeah. So and apparently you can do that with like Ethereum and
Does
Bitcoin.
Does that work when you're using a hardware wallet?
Once you initiate the transaction and whatever application's being, since it's using the computer, you can take over the computer. You know what I mean? I mean, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, but so like yeah, right. So that's one of the benefits of using the hardware wallet. I see what you're saying though, but like so. Basically on the hardware wallet, you want to get one that has a display on the device itself so that you can verify all the amounts and stuff before signing it, because the signing happens on that wallet itself, right? And then it sends back the signed blob to the computer.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at worst in that scenario, at least to my understanding, unless there's another compromise, even if they had that beef hook in there, they would only be able to spy on the transaction. So they would be able to see everything about the transaction, who it's being sent to, the amount, all that, but they wouldn't be able to actually manipulate it with, unless the person didn't visually verify the amounts. So like if they were able to inject it and send it on the computer before it sent it to the device, and then all the device sees is, oh, it was for this amount. And if you don't verify, oh, that's the amount that I was expecting, then yeah, totally. I could see that happening for sure.
Okay, I was just wondering. Because
with the software wallet, they wouldn't even need to do all that though, because like you said, once you have root on a device that has a software wallet, you own that wallet. It's yours now.
Yeah. So I have a question. Is there any way you can hack, say, the device itself?
The hardware device?
Yeah, like say through a UART or a JTAG. Have you tried that yet?
So that's what I've been looking into. Unfortunately, I've been lazy / spreading myself too thin, but that's exactly what I want to do. So I have pretty much, I think I have a device from the 3 big ones. So I have a Keep Key, I have a Trezor, and I have a Ledger. And I was going to start tearing into them to see if I could do some of that stuff, because at least the Keep Key and the Trezor are both like USB fobs. So they have like a little OLED displays on them, and that looks like that might have some kind of debugging port. The other one is just a little USB like stick though. It's more like a smart card or something.
Okay, I see.
But yeah, no, I definitely want to start tearing into that. Do you have any tips or recommendations on like maybe who I should talk to about doing some of that stuff?
With our Arduino, the hardware wallet. But that's all I have.
Okay.
But yeah, if you want to look into it, you should definitely check out the JTagulator so you don't break them.
Oh yeah, I have one. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
But I'm just wondering, like, where do you think this is going?
How do you mean?
Like, as far as the hardware wallets go?
I really hope it catches on. I think the form factor is awesome once you get used to using it. There's a little bit of issues with some of the software, I think, still, especially since a lot of people are going to be on Windows devices. But other than that, dude, yeah, I like I said, I really hope that the interface gets better, and I hope that like with some of the VR stuff, that it gets even more intuitive. Because then you could just plug in your hardware device into your VR kit, and you could have like just a really like in the air display or however they're doing GUIs with VR.
I see. But I just can't, like, I would like, at least me, I would like to limit the amount of hardware it interacts with. Like, say, have like kind of like a wallet that has all my actual, like, say, large Bitcoin amounts, and then the other wallet that I use for just buying things. Is that how you do it?
Yeah.
You basically transfer little amounts into this other wallet, say like $100, and then in Bitcoin, and you go to your bar or whatever and use that.
So I'm not going to breach OPSEC, but I appreciate the attempt. A good idea, though, yeah, is to do just what you're talking about. A lot of people they have multiple wallets, so that they will have some form of cold storage, which can either be, a hardware wallet, or it can be something like a paper wallet that they have stored in like a safe deposit box or some kind of other safe or somewhere that they don't have to really worry about it. So that's where you want to put your large holdings. Basically something that's never touched a computer that you only deposit into. And then when you want to withdraw from that, you withdraw everything at once and then, deal with it from there. And then, then you have the one that's in the middle. So you have your hardware wallet that's maybe somewhat harder to use, but still fairly accessible. And then you have your hot wallet that has, very little in it that's for like daily spending. And maybe that's the software wallet on like your phone or in your browser, like in Brave or something like that. But that's the beauty of it, right? You can have, it doesn't cost you anything. It's not like signing up for a new checking account. You just spin up new addresses and there you go.
I see. No, I'm just wondering.
Now, how do you get the blockchain?
How's that?
Now, the thing that has to be stored on all machines that are interacting with Bitcoin.
All full
How
nodes.
big is that?
So only all full nodes have to keep a full copy of the blockchain, and right now it's a little over, I think, 110 gigs. It just passed.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a lot. It takes like on a high speed connection, it'll probably take you about 6 hours, around 4 to 6 hours to sync the whole chain.
And it keeps on growing, so you need more space. So.
Absolutely. Well, that's what, yeah, exactly. And that's what the whole block size debate's about, is like, if we keep increasing the block size, that space is going to be filled. And the amount of hardware and resources it's going to take to become a full node is only ever going to increase, further centralizing the network hardware. So whereas we're already seeing a huge centralization in mining, we'll also start to see that in people who operate full nodes, which is already a fairly small amount, but it'll shrink even more if the blockchain grows to, let's say, like a terabyte or 2 terabytes. But they're working on ways to solve that, like with the Lightning Network and other side chains, to where maybe you don't have to download all the information about the blocks, just the blocks that are involved with your transactions. So, and there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of people working on different ways to solve it, because it is a huge problem area. because if it goes too far out of hand, you're only going to have the Visas and the MasterCards of the world running full nodes. And that's also the same problem I see with Dash is, okay, well, when Dash becomes expensive enough, maybe that 1,000 Dash that it takes is $1 million, and you only have a few select firms that are willing to put up the capital to run those.
Yeah. Plus, it'll be easier to hack the whole Bitcoin system if you only have a couple actual nodes.
Absolutely, yeah. No, it creates all kinds of problems. But the good part of it does look like there are solutions right around the corner. So there's definitely a lot of research and hard science that needs to still be done, but there's incredibly smart people working on it that are coming up with some really cool things. And and there's other cryptocurrencies. So maybe Bitcoin, maybe you don't use it for everyday transactions. Like I don't use it to buy my coffee. Maybe I do use Dash for that, right? So I have all my daily holdings are in Dash because whatever, it's only like $1,000, but that's enough to have day spending for the week or whatever. And then maybe I have Ethereum for all my smart contracts because maybe I want to pay my rent with Ethereum or whatever. And all these different cryptocurrencies have their own specific use cases. And then maybe Bitcoin is like your long holding thing. So maybe it's really expensive to do a transaction, but if you only do a transaction once a month, maybe it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I think they're gonna cut into that where I think Bitcoin is gonna become like the gold in the currency system type of thing, which already is in a sense, but something more structured where everything's around it. Like I know there's a lot of these like cryptocurrency startups. They're all around Bitcoin. We are Bitcoin based. We have 75 Bitcoins, and then you get our coin.
There's supposedly only like a finite amount of Bitcoin that can be generated or something.
21 million.
Right. So what happens when you reach that point?
No more Bitcoin are generated.
Right. That's what I mean.
The price, the value goes through the roof.
Right.
Yeah, so it's like $10,000 a Bitcoin.
The people who've been hoarding it like the whole time are going to become like super rich according to Bitcoin or whatever. So.
Sure, if they live to be 120. Yeah, that could happen.
But I mean, Bitcoin
be there.
Bitcoin. You can still exchange partial Bitcoins. Yeah, it's not going to be mining for new stuff.
So all the miners right now generate new Bitcoin through the block reward, and that gets halved every given time period. It's based on difficulty and block height, but basically it's every so often the difficulty gets increased and the reward gets halved. When that happens, that's going to keep happening until you get to the 21 million point and no more Bitcoin are generated at all, not even fractions of a Bitcoin.
So doesn't
but not all cryptocurrencies are like that,
like
though.
The value goes down? Sorry.
The value would go up.
Right. I mean, when the value goes up, doesn't the difficulty go up? So when the value goes down, does that decrease the difficulty?
So the difficulty isn't based on the value. The difficulty is based on the amount of hash power on the network. So the easier, and also the amount of time it takes for a block to be mined. So if the average time for a mined block goes below a certain threshold, the difficulty is increased. The inverse is also true. If it's taking way too long for a new block to be found, then the difficulty goes down. So it's constantly fluctuating to match how much hash power is available on the network.
So then it has nothing to do then with what the current value of Bitcoin is.
Not directly. I mean, indirectly, you might see. So maybe if there's a lot more interest in Bitcoin, more people will spin up mining farms. And you're kind of seeing that in America. There's actually a resurgence of people getting into it. There's a couple brothers up in Washington, and then another friend of mine, he has his buddy is also up in Washington. It seems to be a pretty popular state for this. they go next to hydroelectric dams where the power is super cheap and so is property. And then they rent out basically warehouses of land, and then they just, they put up the warehouse itself, and then they start a mining farm. And so we're actually getting, I encourage that, even though I don't have the capital to start my own. I would like to. That would be awesome.
How much money do you need?
I don't know. I would guess probably at least 100,000 of your own money that you'd be willing to put up, and then some investment capital, because you have to lease or buy the land. You have to build or have an existing structure that's suitable. You have to be close enough to cheap enough power for it to make sense to run over the year. And then you have to buy all of your equipment, which hopefully you can buy strong enough equipment that it's not out of date in 3 months when you have to dump it and buy your new stuff, or dev your own and spend the money to develop an ASIC.
I see. Yeah, but
which that's like millions of dollars.
Well, I mean, it's just an FPGA with a nice cooling system.
Okay. You say so.
Screw
my
that.
wheelhouse.
I
money.
mean, of course, there's a lot of money when you want to like mass produce something instead of building it from scratch yourself. You save the time. But how about a quantum computer? Like, I know you can buy a quantum computer for $15 million, right?
Oh, you're talking about the D-Wave?
Yeah. You can buy a D-Wave right now.
Right. If you're a DoD contractor.
Did not know that.
No, I actually don't know. I just know that I think it was like Booz Allen was the one that bought it, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, it was one of those mucky mucks.
Well, I mean, Google is sharing one of NASA, aren't they?
I believe so.
Oh, sorry.
Someone's got
All
some
right,
crazy
sorry
mic
about
noise.
that.
Yeah, somebody went serial killer mode right there.
My bad. Fuck.
It's okay. I'm just saying, great sounds for a scary movie.
But yeah, it's quantum's not to the point where there's not enough qubits.
No, well, and even then, I don't think so. How are you going to get SHA-256 onto that thing?
No,
Like-
I'm just. I don't know. I'm just wondering what would happen if you can.
So if you could
Bitcoin
program it, like an ASIC, basically, is that what you're kind of getting at, like a quantum ASIC, specifically as a
basically you
Bitcoin
create
miner?
like a quantum computer Bitcoin miner. Basically, since the ranges are so long, I bet you can like say, I don't know, make 20 Bitcoins a day. It takes you an hour, to make 20 Bitcoins, and you shut it down. It's too hot. Turn it on again an hour later,
Yeah, I bet it would work, because I mean that's what one of the biggest threats from quantum was, right? Is that something like Shor's or Grover's algorithm would make. I don't know if it works for hashes though, because I thought that was for.
It absolutely works for
breaking
hashes.
down.
Yes,
Yeah.
it works.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
Shor's
computer.
algorithm is specifically for hashes, to my understanding.
Oh,
Grover
okay.
is like sorry.
Isn't it
Actually,
for
yes.
Quantum computing.
It's for asymmetric crypto and hashes for Shor's algorithm. Grover's algorithm, I believe, is for symmetric crypto.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah, then I mean, if you could get something that's rivaling an ASIC, it's just like at the price point though. Like, could you get something powerful enough that it outprice competes building it in an ASIC?
If we get a working quantum computer that can take over the Bitcoin network, I think we're going to have much more things to worry about in society than someone monopolizing an entire currency.
Right, but what I'm saying is if you could already do that cheaper now in ASICs, they would already be doing it. So so if it's so expensive that yes, you could do it with quantum computers, but it's so expensive that it's prohibitive, then I'm not really worried about it.
Sure, but quantum computers are not very energy intensive, to my understanding.
Well, I mean,
But, like I said-
it's a lot more expensive to cool them than it is to power them, because of the nitrogen and all that stuff that you need. You still need the canisters. You still need all the stuff to cool it and keep it whatever degrees it needs to be.
The technology is extremely immature.
You're making it
And
like this.
to my
Anybody
understanding,
can pull up a quantum computer.
What?
Sorry, you're making it sound like just anybody can just spin up a quantum computer out of nothing. So
Actually, you
Depends if
can.
you
You can
think,
go online. You can go online and you can play with the D-Wave with Google.
Depends if you think
Yeah, but
D-Wave's
they
a quantum
audit
computer.
everything you send them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true too.
No one. I don't think there's ever. I don't know. I've never heard any conclusive evidence of D-Wave exhibiting quantum properties that could not be explained by a specialized classical computer.
Yeah, supercooling effects. The last paper I read on it, which admittedly was like a year and a half, 2 years ago, it was just that it was still kind of up in the air, but the burden of proof still lies on D-Wave.
Yeah, I know on their
But that's
website-
still kind of amazing. Like if they have a super cooled computer that can mimic the effects close enough of what you would get from a quantum computer, even that in itself is a step forward in engineering.
But that's today's quantum computer though, which is pretty primitive. I mean, look at ENIAC.
I mean, any kind of computer.
Yeah, true. We're still in
Fuck, sorry about that. Fuck.
Is that just to shake up the conversation when it gets boring, or?
That's his.
Yeah. Let's go with that. We'll go with that.
That's his fear coming out.
Yeah, well, the big thing with the quantum computing is as it gets more mature, when you like on today's architectures, when you add processors, you're doing a linear increase in performance. Whereas, once quantum computing matures, you add more processors, you're increasing your compute power exponentially. That's where, so as the technology matures, I mean, eventually the quantum's just going to run away. I mean, you don't have any hope in, mimicking it with, I don't care what kind of ASIC you burn, you're not going to get exponential, performance increases. But we're totally not there yet in quantum computing.
Yeah. No,
if we have working quantum computers that can do that, you're gonna be worrying about human intelligence AIs or that kind of stuff. There's gonna be much more to worry about.
Right.
No, you have to worry about that right now.
Once quantum computing is mature enough where you can just add processors and exponentially, increase your processing power, I mean, you're gonna be there's not gonna be any such thing as encryption, because any of it can be, cracked, live stream.
Well, wouldn't it just be based on post-quantum encryption? Yeah, they already have a number of. I mean, there's even a web chat app based on it.
That's still being refined, but it means that any classical crypto will be screwed. Well, any asymmetric classical crypto will be screwed. Any symmetric crypto with good key exchange, offline key exchange, will be weakened, but would still probably last.
But if you can exponentially increase your compute power, you exponentially increase how many hashes you can try. Suddenly something that's 2 to the 128th bits that would be completely uncrackable by linear increases in processing becomes trivial when you can increase your compute power exponentially. It's just a matter how deep your pockets are to add to square your compute power.
From my understanding, though,
sorry.
You guys are making it sound like you can just spin up one of these things in like your garage or something like that.
No, we were just talking about the point when it does get to that level, though.
I will know it'll get that level tomorrow.
We're just not at that point yet, though.
No, we're not. We're definitely not. But I mean, it does look like we probably will get there.
We can't afford it. We're not because we can't afford it. But if we could afford it, we were. You know what I mean?
Right. But I mean, like, who can really afford to like spin up like a quantum computer in like their garage or something like that? You know,
who's Alan Hamilton?
Yeah, I mean,
right. But I'm just saying, like, your everyday like Joe somebody.
But the same was true in the 70s. In the 70s, you wouldn't have your average Joe Blow or the 60s or the 50s working on computers, but then you have computer hobby kits that make it easy for everybody to get a hold of in the late 70s and 80s.
I'll tell you this, if I get to hack it and have access to it, of course I would run a quantum computer.
You can do that right now. D-Wave has a
No, I'm
portal.
not denying that. I'm just saying, your average, like he says, your average Joe Blow can't just spin up a quantum computer in his garage or his basement or whatever.
No, but today, the average Joe can certainly go out and buy a NVIDIA 1080. Now, how much compute power was that 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago? I mean, it's not that far down the road, and that was with just traditional increases. There weren't really exponential jumps in compute ability.
Cracking desks used to be hard enough for the federal government to use it on everything.
It still is for some branches.
They can't even crack Route 13.
It's so hard.
No comment for me on that.
It's Jack's fault. Jack, why can you crack Route 13?
Encrypt with XOR.
Just make the password. Password 1.
Or Joshua.
Joshua.
No, Hunter 13.
Wow.
No one gets the reference, really?
No.
No.
Sorry.
We're not serial killers.
Bash.org back in the day. It was a IRC chat log of someone trolling someone into thinking that if they typed their password out on IRC, it would be replaced by asterisks.
Yeah, I remember that.
I remember now, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I didn't remember the password, but yeah, I do remember that type of thing going on back in those days.
And there's still, I don't know, IRC is still around, but not that many noobs, sadly. Probably some new feds probably could fool into doing that.
Nope.
And that's another thing. Like, what about starting up new, like, spot the feds at different conferences?
Well, the thing is, they
told
sponsor it.
why they stopped it at DEF CON. There was an incident one year.
I didn't see that being done at DEF CON this year.
Yeah, they stopped that for a reason. Basically, a cop.
Why'd they stop that?
FBI agent who was not attending DEF CON, who was just there on a separate criminal investigation, was there in uniform, looking. It happened to be around DEF CON. One of the attendees apparently grabbed him on the shoulder and said he spotted a Fed. The cop drew his gun. People got excited.
Oh shit!
And it no one got hurt long term, but
that's still crazy
to prevent
though.
future incidents like that.
Well, so
yeah, so that's why it stopped.
The only reason I ask is just because the last few conferences I've been to, it seems like there's a lot of law enforcement and intelligence agencies there.
Yeah,
and it's like I don't really know how to deal with it because sometimes I feel like maybe I don't know who I'm working for. At what point? How do you really tell that?
This is the
what
thing.
What do you mean working for when you're talking about a conference?
So a lot of the intelligence agencies, let's say not in the U.S., will use front companies and organizations that aren't explicitly labeled as being public or private intelligence agencies, but in essence, you are doing that work for them.
You mean a shell company?
Yes, a shell company,
but so you mean
a legitimized government shell company.
Yeah, so you mean if you go to a conference and fill out an application for one of the sponsors?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but this is the thing too. You also have to understand.
Or get propositioned, or however it works out, that somebody gives you a job offer.
Yeah,
I
wouldn't take it. I wouldn't take it. I would not trust anybody.
Something like that.
I would not trust anybody you meet at a hacker conference, just for the possibility and the variables involved. I would get their information and move forward, because I have my own business, and I've tried to hire, companies try to hire me for business, and it's like, give me your card, give me your information, and I'll call you once I'm at a conference right now having fun, and then you call back and it's bogus. You know what I mean?
Especially if it's like a company that's got ties to like a nation state other than the United States or something.
And you can get, and the thing is, you could be targeted, meaning, oh yeah, we're gonna hire you for this job, but we need you to do it right now. We'll pay you $10,000 cash. It's in my hotel room, and you're actually hacking something for someone.
Fuck that.
Right, and that's the other thing I was going to get at, because I've experienced that too when I was job hunting.
Me too. I had a guy who said, "Oh, we got this binary. If you can reverse engineer it, it will be awesome." And I'm like, "Nope, I am."
Not on your life, bud.
You guys are like other cons?
No, this happened to me at least. I was interviewing for a bunch of different jobs, and I had met somebody, actually, ironically, at a church, and I think he was probably involved with some kind of organized crime group. Might be my own biases, but he worked for a construction company, and the guy that he put me in contact with was like, "Oh yeah, you gotta connect through this VPN, and then like you whatever client we hand you, like you'll go off and do that job." I'm like, "Well, can you give me some background? Like how do I know like I'm actually working for these companies that they actually own these things?" And he's like, "Oh well, if you don't want to do it, like we can I have 1,000 hackers lined up." I'm like, "Okay, well go ahead and use one of them." But
was it like some fucking like company based out of like some other nation state or something?
These guys were based out of San Jose.
Yeah.
Was
Right,
was
but,
was their offices in the back of a strip?
Right, exactly. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not going to admit to that.
It's like based out of San Jose, but like funded with some other country's money or something.
Yeah, but this is the thing. You have to be very careful with that because the feds are incurring and setting up traps for people. And they say they want to help out, and you're trying to help out as a white hat, but they just fucking throw you under the bus just to make the news.
Just to get a caller, right?
And no, but this is the truth. Like, not everybody who puts on a uniform is defending your rights.
And it might not be to make the news. It might be to meet their quota.
Yeah, and this is the thing. You have to think about all these organizations as gangs. You have the good side, and then you got the bad side. But when you put them all together, they're all the same thing. Are you working with good people out for doing good, or you're working for people playing to be good people, but they're actually doing bad? And I mean, that's just a moral compass. That's with me. Every time I get a client, I use proxies, and I use people who handle that, and then they give me whatever files, and they carve out any information. But I know I'm dealing with a legitimate middleman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. How did you kind of groom those people for those? Because I mean, it sounds like you'd have to trust those proxies quite a bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, mostly people I grew up with, and I'm an Army brat, so I lived in an Army base, and a lot of my friends work in DC and all that stuff. And another thing is, you just gotta feel your gut and make sure you're always on the right. And even though they try to trick you to arrest you, you have to make sure you're doing everything to par. You're like, I'm not gonna do that, and no, I don't want to do this. And having your contract, if you are a undercover officer, you should tell me now by signing this contract you admit you're not. And I have an attorney to a lawyer. I mean, there's ways around it.
Just keep your nose clean.
A cop doesn't have
No, it's not. No. I'm sorry. That's not legally binding because it's just like walking up to somebody. Hey, are you a cop? If they're undercover and they're trying to bust you, they're going to say no.
Yeah, but this is the thing. You don't have to convince.
The funny thing is that they can still bust you even if they tell you no, even though they are a cop.
I know. But the thing is, when you're in front of a jury of people, and the cop lied after he signed the contract, that you don't have to convince the cop once he arrested you. Then you have to convince the jury. So, and having the evidence to convince the jury, and having your statements for your lawyer pre-hand, so makes him look like a piece of shit. You know what I mean? That's who you got to win.
But the goal is to not ever have to tell. I don't want to ever have to convince a jury. You don't ever want to go that far.
Look at all the shit they're putting Ulbricht through right now. Like that dude has a way more slam shut. There's been malfeasance case, and still isn't getting his case thrown out. Like is still having to go through all. Or what's going on with .com. Over in New Zealand right now. Like the government doesn't give a fuck about legality. They're just like, nope, we're going to bully the fuck out of you until we get what we want. So I definitely rather go with your first advice, which is like, just stay clear of it. If your moral compass says no, just get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, and that's the best way to do it. And just make sure they're legit businesses, and and ask around and meet people, and make sure like me before I take a client, or if anybody's gonna give me a binary for work, I make sure I know the person, I talk to the person a little bit and kind of get a feeling for it. And if I trust them, I'll take the code and do it. But if I don't, and make sure you have contracts in place, meaning where it states, you have an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, you have a non-compete agreement, and then you have your work contract where it states that, this person they take full responsibility because they say that this thing, they have the right to use it, they have the right to reverse it, and do your research on the person.
Also, make sure you have like a lawyer on hand that can take a look at the paperwork too.
Yeah, LegalZoom is good for that too. Yeah.
Is it? Because like I was having trouble finding somebody who knew their shit, not only about tech but about cryptocurrency tech specifically. So, but do you guys have good? So you found good tech representation on LegalZoom though?
No, what I use in LegalZoom is I use it for first of all making the contracts, and then instead of going to a lawyer to make me a contract, I give the lawyer a contract to review, so it's a lot cheaper. And you have
gotcha. You just have them touch it up. Okay,
kind of the same thing.
Yeah, but you still want an attorney.
Okay, and that's
involved.
pretty effective.
Yeah, you still want an attorney involved because you also want receipts and all that stuff that shows that you went to the legal counsel and who did whatever,
Yeah, that's a really good cost-effective way to go through LegalZoom, but then bring it to a lawyer to make sure that there's like no loopholes in it or anything like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, me personally, I have a lawyer on retainer, but so it doesn't cost me much to have him handle something because he's already technically paid for it.
Yeah, how much is the retainer for something? I mean, like I know not specifically for you, like if you don't feel comfortable answering that, but like what does that usually go for?
Peace of mind.
Yeah, but how much does it cost? Like 10 grand?
It depends on if you do it yearly or monthly for like engagements or whatnot.
Mine is monthly, and it's a sweetheart of a deal. As long as I don't get into too much trouble per year.
Okay.
Yeah,
so the less pain of an ass that I am, the better a deal I can probably get.
Yeah, and make sure you also have a good criminal attorney at hand, a tech criminal attorney. Somebody, just do your research. Like I had one incident where it could have gone really bad, but the person, fucked up really bad when they tried to do what they did. But by having that criminal, like that cyber attorney, somebody who knew about computers, and I found them at 2600, I was able to not even deal with it because they shut it down. You know what I mean? There was no.
Yeah.
So
it's some money, but it's definitely worth it.
I mean, if you don't, I'd rather pay $3,000 and walk scot-free than, not pay anything, get me a public pretender, and then have a fucking record.
Yeah, good point.
So.
Yeah, fuck dealing with like a public defender or something like that.
Yeah, public pretenders. There are public defenders out there, but it's like
public
1 in
pretender.
100. But the 99% of them are pretenders. They don't give a fuck.
Of course not.
They're all about trying to get you a deal.
No, they work in cahoots with the fucking prosecutors.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But then it goes with any lawyer. It's always they're on first name basis with each other, and then it's like I tried my hardest. The best I can get you is 2 years. And you'll when you get out in 2 years, you'll be on probation for 15 or some fucked up shit like that.
That whole try my hardest thing is the biggest fucking line.
No, and you can tell just by if you guys, since you guys do security and social engineering, you can tell who is who by looking at their body language. Just study their body language, see how they talk to you, and then ask him questions and put him on the spot and see how he reacts. My grandfather taught me this. And see how he reacts if he gets nervous, and just do random shit to see what he does, if he stays calm or not, and go from there. And if he's too fidgety and too fucking of a pussy, don't do it.
you can usually tell based on their body language within the first 5 seconds of interaction with them, based on the questions you ask them. They usually make gestures like what they call like what do you call it? Like just a
Micro
few
expressions.
yeah, micro expressions. Like 3 or more micro expressions, you know, after triggers based on questions that you ask to see if they're telling you the truth or not.
Okay. So some like lie to me shit where you're like,
well, yeah,
That's
you know,
a bit
like
dangerous to rely on too much. You're going down TSA territory there.
Really?
well,
Yeah,
well,
but-
like for example, when they asked like Lance Armstrong, did you dope or something like that to win these races? He like nodded his head and said, "No, I did not dope." But you know what I mean? He nodded his head that said, "Yes, he did."
Yeah, that's true. And also another thing is, if you see that thing lie to me, it's very true. Like it's well done research, and there's a lot of things there that you can follow that could actually help you be a better social engineer as well.
yeah, they have like forensic psychologists as tech consultants on that, right?
Yeah, correct.
Also, when like for example, a good example is when Bill Clinton denied having sexual relationships with Monica Lewinsky when he said, "I did not have sexual relationships with that woman." The fact that he used words like "did not" instead of "didn't" and said "that woman" and then referred to her as Miss Lewinsky, that like depersonified her. That was based, and also speaking in cadence, kind of told you that he was lying, completely lying about everything that he said.
And besides, his cigars tasted like shit. So you know.
There's no.
Well, yeah, I know. I'm just trying to say it. Like he didn't refer to like a body language coach or anything like that when he gave that statement.
Someone could be nervous about something else. This the devil's advocate here. They could be maybe a relative is sick and the person can't get their mind off the relative. Might be pretty fidgety then.
Yeah. Could be multiple reasons for the same reaction, is what you're saying.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so you take the whole
but
interaction.
don't rely on them as gospel.
You take the whole series of interactions as, you know, I mean, you don't just go by one statement or 5 seconds and, you know, say, okay, I made up my mind about this person and ignore everything from there on. I mean, you analyze them as you're interacting with them until you're comfortable with your own decision on.
But let's be honest here, though. The thing is that when you interact with people, especially if it's somebody that you've never met before, you've never dealt with before, within the first 5 seconds, you do make that judgment, whether they're a friend, an enemy, or somewhere in between. Most people get put into that bucket of somewhere in between, but that's within that first 5 seconds that you make that judgment.
It's true.
Yeah, but also you have to follow.
Yeah, it's just weird when
follow
you
your
got
gut.
somebody like.
Follow your gut. I mean, my gut. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how to explain this, but for
absolutely about the gut thing. You do follow your gut. I mean, because it's like we have 3 brains.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say
you
is,
analyze the akashic flow of the energy.
Hey, well, no, but we do get, and we do have like feelings about things.
But hear me out. What I'm trying to say is, I was talking about energy. Like, you want to make sure you are reading your gut right. Like, I had a situation for a long time that I had a certain feeling and I did the opposite, and I always got in trouble or something happened, and then I switched it and I got to know my gut feeling. Make sure your gut feeling is in tune with yourself, and that your feeling is correct. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, yeah, follow your gut, but make sure your gut is tuned down. And don't fool yourself by saying this time is not going to happen, because it will.
Yeah.
You know.
I think the hardest thing for
absolutely, your gut is like a good indicator for how you should judge a situation. Absolutely.
I think the hardest thing I'm doing with this.
Depending on how much meat. Oh my God. But I just say, I mean, you just gotta find your own way, and there is no right way to do things. There's only your way, because we all live in our own little, all of us have our own little life, our own little universe of things that we do and we experience, which are not the same. And
Yeah,
everything is individual. I might have an advice for you, but it might not be the same because I can try to put myself in your shoes, but I can't put myself in your head and actually see what's going on within your head as is what's happening in your environment.
Yeah, I used to put this on my corporate email signature. It was I live in my own little world, but that's okay. They like me here.
Well, folks, we're sitting about 3 hours and 15 minutes, and I got to get sleep, go to a conference tomorrow morning. So let's get back to last words.
Nobody needs you there. Don't worry about it. You can stay up, sleep.
Yeah, Cash, you want to jump over to either Mumble or Discord
yeah.
or
Let's just
something?
do Mumble.
All right.
Discord, right? Or Mumble.
Let's do Mumble for today. See
All
what
right,
happens.
I'll head over to Mumble. Thanks,
Yeah,
Adrian.
get the link.
Y'all have a good evening.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Irongeek.
Bye, folks.